Baby, welcome back to my
Hey,
channel.
y'all live.
Hey guys, it's Tay Baby. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have special guests and some awesome topics today. Go ahead, Zeus. Tell them what we're doing today and introduce yourself,
What's
ladies.
going on, you guys? What's going on, you guys? Zeus X Unplugged. Follow me on all platforms. That's Zeus X Unplugged. Subscribe to my YouTube, Zeus X Podcast. Again, Zeus X Podcast. We got a lovely show for you guys to get into. Let's do the intro. We'll get into it. But yeah, good morning, you guys. Quick announcement, real quick. Check out the ZeusXPodcast.com. Again, ZeusXPodcast.com. Get your merch as well as send any donations to $Zeus X Unplugged. Again, $Zeus X Unplugged to my cash app. Appreciate the help and support. Get a better channel going. And go ahead, Tay.
Okay, guys. So it's Tay Baby. You guys already know I'm 27 years old, studying to be a therapist. We have some good topics today. I don't want to share too much yet. I want it to be a surprise. So go ahead, ladies, introduce yourself, please.
Oh, wait, ladies, name, where you live, like what city you live in, what you do for a living, and your relationship status. And of course, your age. And we'll start with Diamond.
I'm 31. I live in New York.
Continue.
I work in a hospital lab. That's it, right?
Relationship status.
Oh, single. I mean, in a relationship.
And what's your name? What's your name? And so wait, you said you're in a relationship or you're single. Which one is it?
Don't do that, bro. I'm tired. I just woke up.
You're the one who said it, not me.
I'm in a relationship. I'm in a relationship.
Sure?
Yeah.
I hope he knows about this relationship. You next. Name, age, what you do for a living, relationship status.
Is it
and where
me?
Yeah.
Okay. So my name is Rose. I am 33 years old. I am a cardiac nurse currently. I'm a travel nurse, and I'm in a relationship.
Nice.
Okay. How old are you, said? What did you say? Can't hear you. Your phone went out.
33. This is the last time.
Wait, Rose, you said you're single?
I'm in a relationship.
Okay, how long you been in a relationship for?
A year and a half, years and change.
Okay. Is it going towards marriage?
It's a polygamous relationship, so.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Best kind. Now we're talking.
Oh God.
So yeah.
So it's open on his end and closed on your end, of course?
Closed on my end, open on his end.
That's the only way it works. So, perfect. Okay. So I take it he has his shit together to some degree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's what to make sure. Women ain't sharing or losing. I'm almost certain of that. But let me ask you, was it always polygamous, or how did it transition into?
It was polygamous when I met him. When I met him, like, he was very open and upfront, and I'm not a stranger to polygamy, so I've been polygamous. I've been in monogamous relationships.
Did you try to get it open on your end as well?
Openness. I had no desire for it to be open on my end. Are we talking about like multiple partners on my end? Like
yes,
no.
Multiple men. Yes, multiple men.
Yeah, no, I didn't. No.
I mean, right? If I'm talking about got you online. Okay. Shout out to him. His whole thing. Y'all probably gonna have a fruitful, long-lasting situation going on. As long as you don't become annoying.
Right.
Yeah. Natasha, name, age, if you for living, relationship status, and where you from?
Natasha, 39. I live in New York City, and I am in a relationship.
So much.
It's new.
It's new? How new is it?
It's about 9 months.
9 months?
Yes.
All right. So what happened to you? Were you single before that, or were you in a relationship just before that?
I was single before that.
For how long?
For about 2 years.
2 years? Oh man, it was like a drought. Was you still messing around with guys, or you completely single?
Say what?
Was you still casually having sex, or was you completely like no sex? I know you're gonna cap, but
I had sex. Yeah,
all right.
it was with
All right,
one
so
person, but we just wasn't in a relationship.
let me ask you a question. How long took this guy to have sex with you? How long it took? Curious.
I wouldn't say it took him, but it took about 17 days.
Oh dang.
So the guy that you had casual sex with, how long it took? The last guy you had casual sex with, how long it took him?
That took about 3 months
Why it took so long?
because I wasn't sure if,
Of where he stood?
he had to go to the doctor. So
I don't know. Okay. I get what you're saying.
it
Make
took
me
him a
go to the
little
doctor.
longer.
Okay. That's what's up.
Right.
All right. So first thing first, you want to get in your question first, Tay, or we can play the video first?
Play the video first. Play the video.
All right, guys, we're actually coming up to a video I did. It was specifically requested by one of the guests on the panel as well. So let's get to the video. So depression is kind of funny. Hear about it.
Yes.
5 things someone with depression wants you to know. Number 5, depression is not a choice, and they can't just snap out of it. Number 4, when they're taking days to respond to your texts and keep canceling plans at the last minute, it's nothing you did wrong. Conflict is not with you, it's with themselves. And number 3, the reasons for depression can't always be seen, but not knowing the reason doesn't make that depression any less valid. Number 2, you may think that person's not trying hard enough. That's because when you're depressed, even the most simplest task can seem like a mountain to climb. And number 1, they're still the same person, but they're going through hell right now. They may need you now more than ever. And with that being said, here's a cold reality. Being depressed isn't real. It is a product of your thoughts. Feeling depressed, however, is very real. If you feel you're depressed, then you're depressed. But it is your belief in it that makes it real to you. It is your belief in it that gives the power over you. Being depressed is your body's natural, biological, evolutionary trigger telling you something is wrong in your life. It is your mind telling you that you're unhappy with X, so fix it. And here's another cold reality. Feeling depressed is a luxury only females get to enjoy. As a man, you do not have the luxury of sitting around, moping, being miserable, and depressed about your pathetic existence. You got to do a little deductive problem solving and figure out where you went wrong in your life and how you can fix it. That's all you got to do. Be in a constant advanced motion, working towards going to the gym, towards your goal, towards your purpose and mission in life. When you do this, others around you benefit. Your children, your wife, your family. Being depressed is you being selfish as a man. It's you living in your head and worrying about how you feel and not those around you. The acceptance and promotion of depression was thrown into the mix to further kill off masculinity. Men tend to experience and feel depression more than females because a man's life is far harder than a female's. I get it. A lot of times it's mediocrity though. Men don't get to be mediocre. Women do. Whatever the problem is, identify it and rectify it. Fix it. Man up.
All right. So we get into your thoughts about it first. Before you go, Tay, of course. Let's get into before we started with Diamond. We'll start this time with Natasha. Go ahead, Natasha. What's your thought on the video? Do you agree? Disagree? Fuck him? No.
I agree. It makes sense. I don't know if men are more depressed than women, but that's remains to be seen. But I do believe that depression is real. It's a feeling, and it is in your mind. And
No
sometimes
smoking.
No smoking on a platform. Just me.
And
Come on,
sometimes
guys.
when a person is depressed, you can't really tell, and it's easy to personalize it if you don't know the person so well. But if you kind of know who they are, you know it's not personal to you, so it won't hinder your relationship. So I kind of agree with the video.
Okay. So
Okay, I like that.
so you agree? So you do agree that it's a feeling, So being depressed, because the whole point of the video is, and this is my premise, right? Being depressed and feeling depressed are two separate things. Does that make sense? So you may feel how you just like you see me saying I feel I'm a girl and become girls, but being a girl and feeling like you're girls, two different things. Same thing goes for depression. I feel like, so I'm trying to delineate. Do you understand that there's two different things, and do you feel the same way or not?
I believe that is two different things. Yes.
Next we go to Diamond. Do you agree with the video or do you not agree with the video? I can't hear you.
My bad. Yeah.
Shout out Big Zeus.
Appreciate it.
I believe it's kind of true what you said, that men don't really get to feel depressed, and because they got to keep going. You know, there's money to be made, there's bills to be paid, his family got to be taken care of. So for a real man, yeah, no, he don't got time to feel depressed. A real man.
So men do not have the luxury of feeling depressed like how a female does. You agree on that? You agree with that?
All men?
Well, I'm saying men in general.
About a certain caliber of men. So yes, for that caliber of men, yes.
What I'm saying is men in general, right?
No, I'm not gonna apply it to all.
Okay, why not?
Because it is niggas that out here that sit on their ass and complain and don't do what they need to do. And they act like entitled, and they complain and they act like, oh, but this and oh, but that, and it's like, oh, nothing. You're a man. Get up and get to it.
Okay, I can agree with that. Men should definitely that's my whole point of the whole video too, that men not being lazy. Tay. Hold on, Tay. This girl come back.
I want to ask her something real quick. Do you believe the same thing with women too? Because you said get up and do stuff. Do you believe the same thing with women, if they're complaining and moping around? Is it the same applies to them too?
Yeah, some do.
Okay.
I don't have that luxury, but yeah, some do.
Okay.
How come you don't have luxury?
Because I got kids. I can't make that choice. There's some women with kids who make that choice and send the kid with the father so they could go live their best life and do what they want to do, or whatever it is they want to do. But
so you're saying you don't have the choice of being stressed out? You don't have that choice?
I don't have the choice of being stressed out?
Yeah. Of feeling stressed out or being stressed out. You don't have that choice? I would argue women have far more, women would have the choice far more than a man would. Even women who has to work and have kids. Because here's the thing, right? Women are able to, there's something called female privilege that you have, that you take advantage of, whether you notice it or not. So what I mean by that is someone will come save you. If you said you're stressed out right now, maybe your mother will help you, someone will come help you no matter what. Someone will cuddle you because you're feeling the way you're feeling. Versus a man, no one's cuddling.
That's not always true. It is common, but that's not always true. I guess for the general population, you could say that.
Okay. Now, she thinks it's disruptive. I'm not sure what's happening. I think it's showing there's an issue with it. Go ahead, Tay.
So I personally believe that men do have feelings. Men have a lot of depression. They're just not able to talk about it because society doesn't let them. Just like he said, you have to be a man and suck it up. So men are taught to bottle up their emotions. Another reason why the unaliving rate is 80% now. I personally believe that anybody can be depressed, whether it's guy or woman, but I don't feel like men get to be depressed or feel that emotion as much as women do. So of course it's going to get worse for them because who do they get to talk to? They're not taught to go to therapy. They're not taught to talk to people. They're taught to, like he said, suck it up and be a man. But how does that help men in general? But I have a question for you ladies. Why do you believe the unaliving rate, because I can't say the word, is 80% for men? Anybody can answer. If you have an answer, she said.
So how about we start with Natasha?
I think it's that way because they, like you said, society expects them to be a certain way, and I don't think men understand the importance of just talking about how you feel. You don't have to go deep, but getting it off, like just talking about it briefly, can make a world of a difference. It might not change the circumstances, but just having that conversation with somebody that you trust. And, sometimes men, when it comes to women, they don't trust that part of them with women. So they tend not to share that part of them because fear of it coming up later as a talking point in a discussion. That's what I've noticed. But, men really don't like to share how they feel unless they're really, really comfortable. So if a man does share it, it's like, that's like gold for a man to share about what's really going on with him. So I think it's so high because, it's a lot of pressure to be a man and to be a Black man. And if the people around you don't understand those pressures, it's easy to fall into the poor me. And, if you don't have somebody championing and cheerleading for you when things are good or when they're bad, it's difficult. So it's better for me not to be here because I can't live up to society's standards.
Can you go into what do you think about the video? Did you agree? Did you not agree? What was the issue with the video?
So I agree with several different points that you had on there that, depression is a choice or can be a choice, but depression is very real. And the reason why I say that, just coming from the medical or from the clinical standpoint, understanding exactly what depression is, and there's different types of depression. You have, major depression, you have bipolar disorder with depression, and all of these things are just a chemical imbalance. And there are things that you can do to regulate this chemical imbalance, which would be diet, exercise, and then like one of the last resorts, and I'm just paraphrasing and making it short, would be like medication. So being depressed or depression is real, but staying depressed is a choice because there are outlets and there are resources out there for people to get help. So it's like,
my argument was being depressed isn't real. Feeling depressed is real. I'm not arguing that you feel depressed. You may feel that you're being depressed, right? Like I said before, you can right now you can say I feel like I'm a man, and you feel like you're a man. That doesn't mean you actually are a man, though, right? Which is we'll get into the argument, which part of the argument that goes into the LGBTQ community, right? So what I'm saying to you is, do you think being depressed is as real as feeling depressed, or are they one and the same? Because my thing is, being depressed isn't real, right? Because I'm gonna give you an example for me, right? I hate going to personal. For me, I've never known what depression was. I literally didn't know what depression was. So 3 years ago, 2019, was when I first heard about depression, right? When I heard about it, like what the symptoms are. I didn't know what it was. So I never felt it because I didn't know it existed. So I believe your mind believing in it gives it power to you. That was my whole argument. I'm asking you, do you believe that it's one and the same, depression and feeling depression? Or they're being depressed and feeling depressed?
That's a tough one. I mean, I understand what you're saying, whatever, but I get what you're saying and I agree with it, but my clinical brain is like, no, like depression is real and feeling it is real. But you know what? No. I'll have to stand. I think I can say that you might be right on that because sometimes, like, I think it's backwards. I think being depressed is real and feeling depressed might not be real because it could be other things that are making you feel like that. Like your environment, other things in your life.
So now my other thing in that was women, I believe women have the luxury of feeling depressed and men don't. Why? Because being depressed means being depressed is just selfish, right? And because like you worry about yourself, what's going on in your personal life versus what's going on around you. Men do not get to be selfish because people are depending on you as a man. Someone's depending on you. Your family's depending on you. And especially if you're a husband or you have children, there's no way you get to be depressed as a man, right? Versus a young boy, there's a different story. But as a grown man, you don't have that luxury. And a lot of times the depression comes from mediocre life, not going right on, shit not going right in your life, right? So if you think your life circumstances, you wouldn't be depressed. That's like a lot of times what the issue is going with a lot of men. A lot of times, the depression comes from shit going on with their lives, or people they're dealing with that they shouldn't be dealing with in the first place. So what do you say about that?
Oh, for sure. I definitely agree. I think it's kind of a harsh thing to say that it's selfish, you know, it's a little insensitive, but it is, you know what I'm saying? But I do agree, especially with men. Men don't get the luxury of, they can feel like it, but they don't get the luxury of dealing with that. And that's why the suicide rate in men is so high. Like from the day that a man is born, a man child is born, like there's all these expectations that are set on this person. I'm guilty of it as myself. Like I have a son, and I immediately started telling him, like, you're the head, like you're the next male in this family. You have this, you're supposed to take care, you're supposed to provide. Like these are these responsibilities that we set on a man child from, you know, they already know that they're supposed to protect and, you know, do these things. They have all these expectations, and then they go outside in the real world and they have to work. They have to get it from the mud. Meanwhile, as women, we do have an advantage, you know. And I think I had a conversation with you earlier about like back in like ancient civilizations where they would take children, like little boys, and they'd have to go fight in the military and serve time. Like it's been really hard. So you guys don't. No one cares if you feel sad or if you feel bad. In fact, you get ridiculed, and that's why I was saying.
So that's my. If no one cares, right? Because no one cares about means excuses, right? The men don't get to have excuses, right? Because if that was the case, then they wouldn't be able to procreate, right? So no one would want them, because for you to be able to procreate, you'd be attractive. It's not attractive, lazy, moping, depressed. No one cares about his problems. You got to figure it out. So it's a luxury to me. Bring the person to luxury that you get to sit around, dwell about your own personal bullshit. That's something only a female can do. Men cannot do that. There's always a masculine burden of performance. Whether you may not realize it's a female, but you realize it. And women still more than anyone else. Society makes sure men adhere to performance. So for you to sit around and be depressed to me makes zero sense. What say you, Tay?
Okay. I wanted to say something really quick. So I don't know if you guys know who Chester Bennington is or Robin Williams. So when people say that depression isn't real, I don't really believe that, because I've lost friends due to unaliving themselves. So I think that's a load of crap. I've lost a friend by him shooting himself in the head. So when people tell me this, I laugh, because it's really serious, especially for men. And if you see Chester Bennington, he had everything for himself going: a career, a wife, a family, all that. I understand that what he did was selfish, but if you've never felt that depression and had that eat you alive, you'll never know what that feeling feels like. And from somebody who unalived themselves before, I would know. So when I hear people say this, yes, I do understand that there are times where some people feel depression more than others, but if it's already in you, and say your mother was a oppressed woman and had you in her stomach and she was crying, you know, trauma can be passed down, correct? Depression can be passed down. So if you don't know these type of things, you can be around a man who's super, super depressed, or a woman super depressed, and you're telling them, get over it, it doesn't exist. But in all reality, inside they're crumbling, and no matter what they do, nothing's working. Like, look at those guys. They had everything away from themselves and still took their own life. So if you guys don't know about them, I would tell you, Google them. And it says a lot, man.
Yeah, that's why I said. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just need to reiterate what she was saying, was that that's why it's so high and prominent in men, because of that. Like there's no, like I feel like there's no outlet. Like, and I had started a nonprofit organization called the Mind Your Health Movement, specifically targeting the male community. And really just creating like a safe place and a safe haven for them to go to be able to talk about their feelings without being ridiculed. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a real thing. I would go as far as to say that it is becoming an epidemic in the community.
Yes.
Because it's on the climb. And even like when I work on the cardiac unit right now, but I hear a lot of mental health patients. I'm seeing a lot of them that people are being omitted off, of trying to unalive themselves or voicing the need to unalive themselves. And it's, what the crazy thing is that it's young children. They're like 13, 14, 15. You know what I'm saying? Like they're getting younger and younger. And so that's what I think. I had saw like a part of the video, and I had hit Zeus up. I was like, yo, like this is so important, because it's something that's very
But see, here's the thing. Y'all say this, right? I'm not saying feeling it is not real. Again, they may feel it like Robert Williams, whatever his name is. He may have felt it. And shout out, rest in peace to him. He may have felt it. When I think it's not real, because if you tell your mind X, you're gonna believe X. I'll give you an example. If I believe ghosts exist and there's a haunted house, I can't, and I believe that there's ghosts haunting this house, then I can no longer sleep in this house. Versus, let's say Rose and I believe ghosts exist, she sleeps like a baby. In her mind, they don't exist. If you're telling yourself depression exists, then you're gonna look for the symptoms to make yourself depressed. It's like horoscopes. Horoscopes are a soul science. But women believe in horoscopes to like the back, like it's Jesus. My point is, with horoscopes, because you believe they exist and all this moon and Mars and all this shit, you think it's real. If you get whatever you believe in, you give power to it. What's a god to an atheist, right? If you don't believe in it, then you give no power. With depression, and it's like people who are depressed a lot of times, they're giving it power by believing into it, rather than just saying, if they didn't think depression was a word or it didn't exist, then it'd be no depression. Where was depression years ago? This depression shit, this men's mental health, this mental health shit started the last few years. Where was this shit 20 years ago? Where was the depression epidemic 30 years ago?
It was there. They just weren't talking about it. They were drinking and they were medicating and doing other things to mask it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like exactly. If you look at, huh?
If it was hidden so well before, why is it so big now? Because now we live in a world where people get coddled for stupidity. People get coddled for.
Yeah, but we also didn't have the knowledge that we had before. There's a lot of things that they didn't know about before.
They were locking them up
They didn't know about postpartum depression before.
That's true.
If y'all watched the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, when his mom was going to see that lady, she was like, "We believe that you had postpartum depression," but they told her this all these years later. They didn't know that that's what was wrong with her when it was happening.
Postpartum was always a thing. Always a thing. It never was not.
Can I say something?
Okay.
All this men's mental health shit is a new phenomenon because we live in a gynocentric society now. But this is all pushed to kill off masculinity. It's to make men more lazy, more feminine. That's all. It's pushing the femininity.
Oh no.
It's where we live right now. The world designed to push in femininity. It's making men more feminine. This didn't exist before. Guess what? More men.
That is a very slippery slope.
Before. Versus now.
Zeus.
The reason that's all it is.
I don't feel like you could blame that on depression. I think you could just blame that on society in itself. Since the beginning of time, men have gotten away with things. And we've been taught to turn the other cheek and just let y'all do whatever.
Okay, so can we just look at it from an objective standpoint?
Yes.
So are you saying, from what you're saying, that is not real? Okay. So are you saying that if I had, we have a normal, something that we call homeostasis, like what our body is at its normal state, what it's supposed to be doing, a natural balance and a natural order of things. Mm-hmm. So are you saying that, because when I think of depression, I think of low serotonin, low dopamine, like low testosterone. I see things on that standpoint.
Yes. Whoa, she just said? What you just said? Low testosterone.
When I hear depression, when someone says that,
because it makes you less of a man to go into that state. It makes you lazy. If I'm depressed, guess what? I have an excuse not to perform. That's all it is. It's
okay,
I'm not saying it's the feeling is real, but it's a feeling that only women get to enjoy. Women don't gotta perform shit. Women can stay home and not do anything with her life, and people will still accept her. Or a man, you cannot sit around being depressed. And think about it: if depression was a real excuse, then men can tell girls, you know what? I don't have a job. I'm at my mother's house on the couch eating Doritos every day, but guess what? I'm depressed. Understand me? If this shit was possible, women would respect it. You know what I mean? Men come up from prison and say depressed. No one cares. All that happens is they don't get girls. No one wants them. It's an excuse not to perform.
That's why I said before in your last slide that mental health is unchecked. You all have to get it checked. I'm not saying that that's the right thing, that people don't care, because they should. They should care. And we should be having that conversation. At the end of the day, men are human too. I don't.
Thank you.
I don't agree with that. And in fact, like if I saw a man or someone or the men in my life sitting around and doing shit like not doing anything, being unproductive, being unmotivated, that's the first question that I'm going to start asking them. Hey, are you okay? What's going on? How are you feeling? You know what I mean? And like, but there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think there's wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with staying in it and not seeking help. There's something wrong with that.
So let me ask you, and let me ask you, take both. You're telling me a depressed man will still get girls because my thing is he's gonna check the opposite gender by being depressed as a man, versus a woman can be depressed and still check the opposite gender because there's no burden of performance for her. She doesn't have to perform at all.
Zeus. I think that you're thinking that people that have depression are always laying down and moping around. From somebody who knows and have been around, my friend that offed himself, he was working. He was doing everything he should have, calling everybody, acting perfectly fine, acting happy. Nobody knew until we got that call. So you can be a functioning addict. You know that, right? You could be drinking, doing coke, all this crazy stuff and never know. Same thing with depression. There's some people who just keep it pushing, but it's still Chester Bennington. There were no signs. There's a video of him sitting there smiling, laughing with his family. He literally hung himself the next day and nobody knew because he was, look at Robin Williams, cracking jokes, being happy. The goofiest people have the most depression, whether you know it or not. I have the biggest depression and you would never know it because I don't go moping around to people about it, but doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I know that if I sit around, it's going to make it worse, but it's still in the back of my mind. And no, it doesn't matter. Men can have feelings as well. This society is teaching men that just because you feel a type of emotion, you're effeminate, you're gay and all this stuff. That's not the case. This is why the suicide rate is so high, because nobody cares. And because people think like this. If you've never been around anybody who's depressed, you wouldn't know. That's like never experiencing somebody who's passed away. So that's why your mind is, you don't believe in it because you've never seen it. Let your friend die from that. Let somebody die from that. Now you go understand. It'll be a whole different story. But this whole female thing, it ain't no female emotions. No.
I've seen it 100%. I've seen people cut themselves. I've seen it real up close.
Okay. What do you think about that? I have a question. What do you think about that? Do you think that's what's your opinion on that?
I'm not disputing that they did not feel depressed. They felt depressed. So them killing themselves, them hurting themselves, because they genuinely did feel that way. My point is, being that way and feeling that way are two different things. They can feel that way and they are 100% right about how they feel. That means they're not lying. They genuinely felt depressed. But were they actually depressed is my whole thing. Is depressed even real? If it don't exist, then it's real because people use the word. My thing is, where was this 20 years ago? This wasn't a big thing.
It is a chemical imbalance.
Zeus, that's like saying people who SA people never existed. We're finding this out now because the rate is getting higher and higher, and men are speaking up. No, men are speaking up now. I feel like it's better that men are speaking. You haven't been seeing those videos all over TikTok of military men crying outside of their car because they need help? Is that fake? Come on now. No. The suicide rate for men in the military are even higher.
At all. Men should not be crying at all.
Somebody kill me. Somebody kill me right now.
Crying. Like, why is a man crying? Like, this is here's the thing, right? We live in a world where women this is the problem. That's the problem, you guys. You guys are telling men, women are telling men to be more emotional, to cry.
No, that's not what we're saying.
No, I'm not saying you, I'm saying in general. In society, they're telling men to be more emotional, to cry, to let it out, to be more softer, to be more feminine, to wear more feminine clothing. Society is painting a picture of making men more gay, more women. Men nowadays are feminine now more than ever. You're the same way. Y'all are saying these things about you can be stressed out. It's okay. Be stressed, but this doesn't work. Because when a man is stressed and he's complaining about his stress or he's going through his shit, there are men who function. They're functional for sure, right? I'm not saying they don't exist because they genuinely feel depressed. I'm not arguing that. What I am saying is it really real though? Is what they're feeling actually real? That's what I'm not saying they're depressed. I'm not saying that. I don't think people taking their life is fake. Real. Go ahead.
It's what they're feeling is real. I think what you're saying is the state of mind is not real. What you tell yourself is not real. You can feel the real feelings because your body will respond to depression. Mm-hmm. So what you feel is real, but the state of mind, I think what he's saying is not real. Yeah. So if people thought that the state of mind is not real, maybe people would leave here. Maybe people would choose not to leave here, more often if they thought that, this is not real. I feel it, but it's not real.
Depression is fake.
The mind will tell you
Depression is fake.
How is it fake?
It's an excuse that people use to describe why they are shitty.
Banned, get off the line. Get off the line.
Wait. Let me finish. I'm gonna get her back on. Hit me out real quick.
I want to hear this.
Some real shit. Right? So if depression was real, then it will materialize. Like I'll show you. I'll keep giving an example. If it was real, you wouldn't have a choice. So once you were depressed, you couldn't just be happy tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like you can literally choose any time in the world just to be happy right now and not be depressed or not be nothing.
No.
Because it's not real. It's a choice that you're making
in your head.
It's like to be this way.
It's like fear. Fear isn't real. Being in danger, however, is very real. But the fear itself is not real. You created that in your head. It's a sum of your thoughts. Depression is a sum of your thoughts, which made you depressed. But actual depression isn't real. You're making these feelings and these thoughts. It's your life coming together, telling you something's wrong in your life. You got to change something about your life. That's all it is. It's your body and your mind telling you something needs to change in your fucking life. So change it. Now, a lot of people do self-deletion as an alternative because maybe they don't figure out how to change it. They're not the problem. So who knows what the reason is, right? I'm not arguing with what I'm saying is it's a feeling though. And that feeling
I know where it comes from.
It's not real. What is that?
I know where it comes from. It's because we only have two things that we can do in a crazy situation or dangerous situation. You can fight or you can run. And when you can't do either, it leaves you in a fucking this state in between. It's like what you call that thing between heaven and hell when you die? Purgatory. It's like this fucked up purgatory. And like you just don't know. You can't run nowhere, but you can't fight it either. And so now you depressed.
Okay, so I just looked up the definition, whatever. So I can understand where you're coming from. So I just looked up clinical depression, a mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood or loss of interest in activities causing significant impairment in daily life. Possible causes include a combination of biological, physiological, and social sources of distress. Increasingly, research suggests that these factors may cause change in brain function, including altered activity of certain neural circuits in the brain. So, with that being said, it could be your environment, like what you're saying, your environment or something making you feel like that. But which is just right, literally. Yeah. So I mean, if you're going off of that, then okay, I can understand what you're saying. I can agree with that. That there are things and that you know and you can change your environment to feel better. But in certain cases, people don't win because they're battling it by themselves, and they feel like, especially with men, they feel like they can't talk to anyone because people are gonna think they're.
No, it's just who to talk, not we can't talk to
nobody. We can't talk to hold on, Tay. So after she read the definition, said also agrees with what I just said. What say you?
I still believe the same thing I believe this whole time. This is why the suicide rate's so high, because people want to change their mind. You can't do this. Like I said, Chester Bennington, when we get off this, please go look him up. He had money, he had a wife, he had a family, everything. So when you guys are saying environment, there's people who literally have the whole world in their hands, money, all that, so and still, so that's not right. That's right.
It's a combination of things: biological, physiological, and social sources and distress. He may have had some other things going on with him, like a chemical imbalance. It could have been absolutely nothing going on, but the fact that his brain wasn't producing enough of a certain chemical that made him feel like that.
So depression is real.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what we're getting at. It is real.
It's very real.
I just want because she's a nurse. My sister's a nurse.
I don't
think.
Well, I don't think.
Why can you choose for it to stop?
Wait.
Because you have to understand the sources, and depression is a very broad thing. Like there are different types of things, and it might not be depression. You might be bipolar. You might be schizophrenic. You might have personality disorder. You might have narcissistic disorder. Like there are other things that the brain is so
make that shit up.
The brain is so complex.
Ooh, no.
And
No.
we don't even know everything about. We haven't even discovered the functions of our brain.
Depression is an excuse. Listen, man, it's an excuse for you
to not be happy.
So that is
Listen,
very.
It's an excuse to not be happy.
If you're killing yourself as a man, right? That is the most selfish thing you can do, especially if you got children and family at home. Because who's gonna bury you? Who gotta pay for that? Who gotta take it? Not to mention who are you leaving behind that you're supposed to feed? That's counting on you. It's depression for a man is extremely selfish. It's extremely selfish, no matter how you put it.
It's selfish no matter who it is.
In your own situation going on. If you realize others are counting on you, you don't have time to be depressed.
Facts.
But when you're working on what's going on in your own personal fucked up life, you become depressed. You start feeling that way. But what I am telling you is not a real feeling. If you didn't know the word depression exists, you wouldn't feel depressed. If you didn't know it exists, I heard the word depression. I thought it was always like bull. You hear how people say bipolar, they're not really bipolar, they just say that. I thought depression was like kind of the same thing. It was like one of them pseudosciences. Like it's not really real because I've been through a lot of things in life. I've never felt the actual word depression. I never said, yo, I think I'm depressed. Never did that. That's because I never thought it was real.
I've used being depressed as an excuse not to be happy. I didn't want to be happy at that time, so I just used I'm depressed.
I have a question. Why are we acting like everybody's the same? You got to understand, everybody's built different. Everybody has different things. Like, look, I could be toxic as hell. She could be perfect. And then she could have issues. We're acting as if depression is the same for everybody. Like, there's some people I've met who don't have anxiety. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So my whole point is it does exist. And again, if you haven't been around it or seen any of that, there's people I've seen that are functioning, working, have good lives, good jobs, good whatever, and still off themselves. It exists. And the fact that we're acting like it doesn't, or people are just doing it for fun. No. What's easy about offing yourself? Think about that. It's not easy to off yourself. It takes a lot for somebody to even do that, especially a man who has kids. They had to think this over and over and over again until they actually did it, Zeus. So saying that, I understand it's selfish. It is very selfish.
You know, it's harder to think about offering yourself and not doing it versus a name who actually, you know how easy to take a gun and pull the trigger? That's easy to do.
Then why hasn't everybody done it if it's so easy? That had to be don't ever say that. Don't ever, because I've seen people before, I cut myself and never cut themselves. That, oh my God. Zeus, you're killing me. You're killing me.
It's selfish, Tate.
It is selfish. I agree. But how do you think you don't know what it feels like. In that moment, they are helpless. Nobody can help them. You don't think they've tried to run this over in their mind over and over again, get help? There's a lot of people who went to therapy, tried working out, and it didn't go. But again, Zeus, you're a different type of man. Everybody's different. So you can't sit here and say because you don't do it, they don't do it. It's not a feminine trait either, Zeus.
I'm saying all men not have the luxury of feeling depressed. All men, not me, not just all men.
Do you think that's the reason why men feel like they don't need to be here anymore, because they think that way, like they don't have the luxury, and because do you think that's the reason why? That could be a contributing factor.
It is that way. Women make it that way. You women there's a masculine burden of performance on men in general, and women put that on men. Society places
women
that
put what on men?
He's right.
Perform. Men have to perform. If a man doesn't perform, you don't look that attractive. This is a universal fact.
I don't think that if you don't perform, you're not attractive, because the sick part about it is if you are depressed, women will be more attracted to you because they feel like they have to save you or fix you. So that's not necessarily true. That
some women will care about, I agree.
A woman is not going to care about you. Now, the way she goes about it, it may differ from woman to woman, but women are attracted to men who are depressed because they feel like he's depressed, he's not going anywhere, he's going to be mine. They have that sick way of thinking.
Though. It's not like, in general, women want a man who can perform. In general, a man is society. A man is valued on his performance. That's what a man is valued on in general, because he has to provide, contribute, and create. That is a man's job. Versus a woman, it is very different. Women don't have those same burden of performances, so it's very different. So whereas she had the luxury of the same
burden, but we have burdens, not the same.
Women's lives are naturally worried about themselves and their children. They live selfish lives versus a man. Men cannot be selfish. We can afford to be. If we were, the opposite gender wouldn't want us. This is why a stingy man is not attractive.
Say that last part one more time. Say that last part one more time.
Men do not have the luxury of being worrying about themselves, being selfish, whereas a woman does.
So if that's the case, why are people not wanting to be here? If that's not the case, they don't have the luxury of being selfish.
You.
We live in a world right now where
doing
men
exactly what.
Here's the issue: men are being told to become more, to be more emotional. When a man's depressed, guess what? He's getting in touch with his fucking emotions. Something he shouldn't be doing in the fucking first place. His emotions should be in check as a man. You should have part of being a masculine man is having your emotions in check. Having them in check. So these emotional men you're talking about, he's been more depressed.
But acting like you don't have them is what's leading them to not want to be here no more. You keep masking it and act like it doesn't exist because you're a masculine man. That's contributing to the reason why you don't want to be here.
Thank you.
It's not in check though. For them to get to that point, it means their emotions were not in check in the first place, which is already an error in itself. As a man, your emotions should always be in check because you're capable of violence. This is why schools get shot up. Because a man is capable of unspeakable violence. A man can literally, if a man's depressed in a household with you and he doesn't get that shit in order, he can kill you. He can actually hurt you. Versus a woman depressed, she's not really a threat to a lot of men. That's the difference. Men it's also it's other reasons besides him not having luxury of besides performance. He's capable of unspeakable violence. A depressed man can do harmful things. It's catastrophic. An emotional depressed man on the loose is scary. An emotional depressed woman is
lumping a lot into one. I don't think depression is contributing to society, trying to feminize men. I do believe society is definitely trying to feminize men, but I don't think depression is a contributing factor because from what I've seen, only from a statistical standpoint, the men who no longer want to be here don't struggle with femininity. They're masculine men who feel like
thank you. Men in the military, thank you.
And do these things for their families. So one, I don't think has anything to do with the other. I do believe society is trying to feminize men, but I don't think depression has anything to do. I think if men took another route, whatever route that is, in dealing with however they feel or how to process that, things will work out a little better. And it's just, I don't think men have found a way to do that without feeling like they're not masculine. Because that's what the theme is. If you are depressed, then you're not masculine. That's not so smart. Because I talk to men a lot, right? Namely men who are going through things. And a lot of the reasons that they find that they feel depressed, I'm going to use your words, is because they're lacking the ability to provide for their family. That's usually the main reason, and they're treated different and they don't like how they feel. And part of them are just reintroducing themselves back into society. And when things don't work out for them, I got two choices. Either I'm going to go back to jail, or I just don't want to be here no more because I can't perform the way I once was. And I don't want to put myself and my family in that position again, to be away from them. So if I'm not here, they'll figure it out without me, because while I'm here, I'm not able to figure it out. It doesn't make it smart, but that's what their argument is. Like, I can't do this. And then the woman that they're with usually is not supportive in that area when it comes to lacking as a man, which contributes to, the conflict within themselves in the household.
Again, I'm not discrediting anybody who's self-deletion, who's done unspeakable violence. There's people. A lot of the pressure from men come from, ironically, women. The burdens of society which are put on men. A lot of men
I don't think it's women that put the burden on them. It's society. Women are not society.
In years, and these high school, like a lot of these high school kids, are depressed far more than grown men are. Why?
You want to know why? You know what the statistics show?
I'll tell you why. College kids, these younger kids, these kids who are in their early 20s, is because most men are invisible to most women. Most men are invisible. They're not getting attention.
They're not having sex. Statistics show a lot of the reasons why these young men are frustrated because they're not having sex. They're not being acknowledged.
That's why they're not having sex,
women.
though. Why are they not having sex, though? Why are they not having sex?
I don't know.
because of the deregulated dating market we live in today. Women have these overly standards they want in men. And
but you have to take a look at self as to why nobody want to have sex with you. You can't blame women or society. Take a look at you. Fix your hair.
I'm identifying.
Zeus.
I'm identifying the difference.
Zeus.
Go ahead.
Everything can be women.
Wait. Zeus, does PTSD exist? Or is that make believe too?
No, I didn't say make believe.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead, Yellow. What is it? Yes or is yes or no? PTSD, does it exist? Yes or no?
It does exist.
Yes or no?
Just like depression exists. I never said it didn't exist. What I am saying is, feeling it is 100%.
I just want to know.
Real. It exists because you feel it. If you say ghosts exist because you feel ghosts exist, then they exist.
So I have a question for you. Another one.
So are you saying that depression is a choice? Is that what you're trying to say?
What I'm saying is, choosing to feel depressed is a choice. You choose to feel depressed.
I think
chose that.
From what I'm hearing,
maybe you could say choosing to stay depressed is a choice, but not choosing to feel depressed.
So if I stub my toe and I break the bone, can I choose whether or not I feel that pain?
Thank you.
So
I'm flatlining right now.
That's your body's natural reaction to it, right? So now, if it depends now, that's also subjective, right? Some people may not, if I stub my toe and start bleeding, I may not feel the pain. So you choose to show the emotion of the pain. You're choosing to show that it bothers you. But let's say if you stub your toe and you start crying, you're choosing to cry. You're choosing to show the emotion of it. You're choosing to show that it's painful, it bothers you.
Okay, so so if I break my toe, but I remain stoic. Are you saying that that's what what men should do? Remain stoic. So that leads to other problems. Okay, so let's say if a person
that makes it worse.
Let's say, all right, we're gonna follow this logic. I feel depressed, but I'm gonna continue to move and conduct and do all this other stuff. But I'm not gonna acknowledge this depression. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna try to figure it out. But I still have this chemical imbalance going on in my head. But now what happens is that now I might not show it, and I might not have, I may be asymptomatic, I'll put it that way, to the other person, right? Mm-hmm. But I still have this internally. So what's happening now, not only am I depressed, but now I have high levels of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And the stress hormone is corrosive to the cardiovascular system, okay? Now I got ulcers, whatever, because I'm not showing this, whatever, and I'm ignoring everything, whatnot.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So I might not off myself, and I might not, be violent to anybody else, but I might, have a GI bleed, a slow bleed, and now I'm anemic. You know what I'm saying? Now my immune system is suppressed, whatever, and I'm sick all the time. So there are other things that come along with that.
Yes.
But where was
it is real. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, okay, we can ignore it, but that's why men die more before women.
I just said something very important.
Don't say Diamond.
I'm sorry, I can't say that word.
There's a lot of diseases and stuff.
No.
That's not valid.
It's the stress. That's why your mortality rate is higher.
Hold on, Rose.
Everything that we know today has to be learned.
Diamond. Forget that, Diamond. Let's go back to what you just said. I said, word for word, I said, where was it 30 years ago? What did you say to that, what I just said? Just say what you said. What did you say, Diamond?
We didn't know as much as we know.
What happened 30 years ago is that they stroked and had heart attacks because they didn't deal with it.
Hold on. Yes. So wait. I said 30 years ago. Where was it 30 years ago? She said we didn't know about it back then. That's the truth. That's my point. Okay. It's not real.
What he's saying is, so people survive.
I didn't hear you say 30. I thought you said like 300, which was like more like sensible.
330 is the same thing. What I'm saying is it exists though. My point is,
so what you're saying, people were doing and living back in the day without the word depression. So how did they deal with it back in the day? Because there was no word depression. So I think, if you deal with the symptoms of depression, and this is, I'm only, trying to decipher what Zeus is saying. This is not the word of, I'm just trying to figure this thing out. So I think what he's saying, if you deal with the symptoms of depression, you won't be depressed. You can't say that you're depressed. So if the job is messed up, the kids, if everything is overwhelming you at one time, if you can get a hold on that, you won't say that you're depressed. You can't be depressed. It's just you feel depressed. You feel the effects of not having a job. You feel the effects of the kids wilding out. You feel the effects of the loss of a friend or a loved one or a relationship. You feel those things. But if you compartmentalize your life, then you can't be in the state of depression, because there's feeling depressed and then there's being in the state of depression. Now, there is a difference between the two. And I think that's what he's trying to say. The feelings are real. He's not denying that the feelings are not real, but the state of depression, I think, is what he's saying is a choice, not depression itself. Like the state, like you can choose to do something different. That's why he's saying men don't have the luxury, because men have to find a way to do something different, because they're leaders, they have families to take care of. So I think that's what he means by that.
Now, and not only that, men are capable of unspeakable violence. Men can hurt somebody. So a man who's depressed can literally call. This is why schools get shut up, because he's invisible. The girls at school want to talk to him. They all ignore him, and then schools get shut up. Why? Because again, like I'm telling you, a lot of these men, a lot of times, not every single time, I love you. You're depressed is a reflection of what's going on in your life. Allow things to accumulate. You didn't get a hold of things. You let things get out of control. It is something in your life that's causing it. Right? Who's this?
I think it's a response to life.
He's back.
That's causing it. So that's
He's on his own one.
Right? But what I'm telling you is depression, like you said earlier, it is very real, right? To feel that way. But it is not real being depressed. This is why I said earlier, and she just said it, they didn't have it 30. This was not a talk about men's depressive state, because men weren't allowed to do it back then. It was not a discussion. Postpartum for women and all that stuff, and for veterans and all that stuff, we never had it for men, because you were not allowed to have it, because why? It was not, you didn't think about it before. There were not men who come out to about I'm depressed before. Men just got on with life. They figured it the fuck out, like how men should.
And what was life expectancy back then? They self-medicated and drinking and smoking.
Nowadays, in a society nowadays where we tell men to let it all out, be emotional. We give men all these fucking excuses to be less of men, which is why women are finding 80% of men as less attractive now. Because men aren't performing anymore. Because they have excuses now not to perform. We're giving them the excuses.
I have a question.
You women are saying you're not more feminine, they're not attractive no more, they ain't doing shit more. You're making these lazy ass men. You're creating them by giving them these excuses. They didn't excuse.
Wait.
I want to say something.
I just want to know why the women are the ones telling them that. I don't think the women is the one. I don't think women are the ones feeding that to them. I think it's a demographic of people, and I don't want to seem biased, but I think there's a specific demographic of people targeting straight men to tell them, hey, talk about you. I don't think it's women, so to speak, that's doing that, because when a woman encounters a man who she feels like she can't get through to, that's a natural thing. Like, say something, let me know what's going on. And once you get to know a man, you'll realize they don't speak the same way that we do. So there's no need for them to be all emotional and, crying and all that. There's no need for that once you tap in and you get to know who they are. But I think there is a couple of alphabets that's really gearing that. I don't think it's women, so to speak. Please, I don't think, stop blaming us for every little thing. It's not us, it's them. Now.
Can I say something now?
Go ahead.
So I really feel like I agree with Zeus to a certain extent, because again, if you don't see a lot of women nowadays, they'll throw shit in men's face that they ask them to talk about. And a lot of women say this. You can watch Fresh and Fit. They have 1.7 million. They've had the chat do this. Millions of guys say when they tell a girl something, the girl will make fun of him, or they'll say, I don't like a man who cries. Now, Zeus, I need you to understand something. I'm not asking a man to sit here and cry, because I personally feel like if you're crying every day, man or woman, you're not helping yourself. You should be working out. You should be in the gym. You should be trying to do affirmations, believe in God, whatever helps you. But if my man wants to come to me and say, hey, babe, I'm stressed out, or hey, babe, this, I'm not going to be like, you're less of a man. I don't think like that, but I don't make up majority of women. So I'm not discrediting you, because there's a lot of women out here. I have brothers, and I've heard women say the most messed up things where I'm like, that's your man. What are you doing? This is why men can't come to women. But I'll agree with you on that one. But as far as like blaming women fully, I can't really say that. It's not me. But I want men to go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I'm saying I'm not blaming women fully. I'm saying it's single parent households. Always, this is the problem. We live in a society where there's more single parents than ever before.
Of course.
And women make 80% of single parent households.
I think that
so I'm not saying women because they're their mothers. These mothers are telling their sons, you can cry, let it out. Be more emotional. They're raising these men to become less of men. It's the women raising these men. Back before feminism, before the second wave of feminism, before 1962, right? Before the 1960s, women were two-parent households. The nuclear family was strong. So men weren't as feminine as they are today. Men were told, stop fucking crying, man up. And they became actually men because of it. We live in society now where men are being cry, and they're less of men now. They're less.
There's so many single parent households because women. So I just want to be like, follow me with this. So single parent. So 80% of households, women are single, and that's because women are feminizing men.
Are led by women. Yes, that's a fact, in my opinion. According to the CDC.
No. I'm saying the reason why it is 80% of single parent households is because women are feminizing men.
No.
No, the feminized men is a product of them being raised by
80% of single parent households. That's what I'm saying. Yes, it's a product.
That's a fact.
Oh.
That's a fact, not my opinion.
That's a fact. But if we're gonna say that, see, this is where it gets a little tricky. You can say that, but nobody's having the conversation of why are all these households single, and you cannot keep blaming women.
Well,
but you open your legs up. You open your legs up. You pick the man. You pick the man. No.
Now we transitioning. I love this conversation.
She said no. Yeah, same.
You can't keep doing that with the women are opening their legs.
Say you first or me? Which one first?
Huh? What'd you say?
You get up first or want me to get up first?
Yeah, no, man. Okay, a lot of women don't get this.
I want to get her.
You pick the man, you open up your legs. Take your time getting to know these men. You know how many women I know? Oh, I messed around with him, or they keep the baby when the guy doesn't want them. Why are you doing that? Why would you have sex with somebody you wouldn't know has your back? So you can only blame yourself. And if a guy tells you, I'm not financially stable, I don't want to be on child support, I can't do this, why can't he leave? You're forcing him. It takes two to tango.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question.
Wait, go. I can't hear one at a time.
Right. One person at a time, please. We can't talk over each other.
So let me ask you a question. So you haven't seen. I'm sorry.
Let one person get their thought out. When they are completely done, then ask a question.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Natasha.
So you haven't seen an instance where a person is together 3 years, 4 years, then when the kid comes into play, that's when the relationship is over. So you haven't seen that plenty of times. We're not talking about the women who lay on their back and don't know the guy. We're not talking about that. We're talking about relationships. You know the man 5 years, you have a baby, y'all all hunky-dory, and then all of a sudden, I can't do this no more.
Who says that? Who says that?
I got this one.
Who said they can't do it anymore? A man or a woman?
What?
I didn't hear the question.
Sorry, can y'all hear me?
Phone going in and out.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Phone going in and out. So I'm gonna handle it while he fixes his phone. So here's the thing, right? You choose who you procreate with, who you date, and who you lay down with. You are the gatekeeper to sex. So all these reasons why, when the households are single, women are initiating 80% of breakups and divorces. Initiating. So these single parent households, women are doing it. If you ask any women, I can ask you right now, last time you who broke up with who, I'm almost certain it was him. I mean, it was you. I didn't know you to know that. Why? Because this is how it works. Women leave men overwhelmingly. Women initiate breakups and divorces overwhelmingly. And it goes even more educated and more financially stable she is over him. Women leave men crazy with me. We haven't seen this now. Because of that situation is going on, we have a product of single households where women are raising the children. Women win 90% of child custody cases. This is another fact. So because y'all winning these cases and you're getting rid of the men out the households, guess what? You're left to raise these boys by yourself, and you cannot raise a man to be a man because you will never understand the masculine burden of performance. You don't know what it takes to become a man. That's a fact.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Go ahead, Paulie.
Hey, I like that.
Your phone went out again, Paulie.
I don't know what be up with my phone. I'm get on my computer. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
The reason why it's the woman's fault is because y'all make the choices. Y'all choose who even is living here on earth.
Facts.
Did y'all know that? That y'all have the biggest power on earth. Therefore, you have to take on the biggest responsibility as well. You know, if the Lakers don't go to the playoffs, it's not Westbrook's fault. It's LeBron James' fault because he holds the responsibility, just like the women do. You hold the responsibility for our penny, and if it's fucked up, don't look anywhere else. It's your fucking fault. That's it.
I just feel like as a woman, you can't have 100% authority and want to take 50% or 20% responsibility. That's the problem. Y'all have 100% authority over. Y'all actually kind of play God when it comes to life, creating life and bringing the future into this world. You funnel in the new future every single day, and you have the authority whether that future is born in this world or killed right then and there. So because you have that authority, you have to have that responsibility that comes with it. You are choosing these men that are less than men or have these issues going on. You were choosing them. Your job as a woman is to pick a better man. You have all these choices, and you're still choosing the wrong man anyway. That's the irony of it all. Y'all have more choices now than ever before, and you're still picking the wrong men time and time again.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, Natasha, I want to say something. So I feel like you think that I'm saying all women or whatever. There are a slim majority of men who do leave women or whatever. But if you look at the facts and like the scientific proof of it, most women are leaving. And think about this for 1 second. A lot of men would stay with women, but this is something we don't talk about. Women will have children, weaponize the child, not let the dad see the kid, don't want to have sex, don't want to do certain things. You're not doing everything you put in effort, and it could go vice versa. So I'll be honest with that. But for a man to leave a woman, it takes a lot of nagging, a lot of stuff that she's doing, a lot of no sex. Right. A lot of women that I've talked to, and I'm trying to study to be a therapist. I talk to women. When's the last time you complimented your man? Oh, never. When's the last time you sucked his pee-pee whenever he asked? Never. So what do you think a man would want to be with you for when those are his needs? Men are more physical. Do you understand that? So that's where I'm trying to get at. There are some men who leave. I get that. But why are they leaving? Why do people leave? If the person, I'm just letting you know that. Go ahead.
I never disagree with you when it comes to, I never said that. So please, I didn't misunderstand that point. I just brought up a scenario and asked, have you ever seen that? And you guys
I'm just clarifying.
Yes, I agree with you in that.
I'm gonna double down on that too for women. If a man leaves you, you are the fucking problem. If a man leaves you, you're the problem. Why? Because for a man to leave you, it means you are egregious to be around. Men do not leave. Men will stay because of child support to avoid that. They will stay because they already got you in the house. It's hard to get rid of you because you have squatter rights. They will stay because of alimony, palimony. Men will stay also because of sexual access. So if a man actually leaves you, you are a big problem. You got to really look at yourself as a woman because women leave men overwhelmingly. So for a man to even leave you on the opposite, let's say it doesn't happen, there is something wrong with those actual women because men do not leave women. I'm telling you, they will keep her around if nothing else for just sex. If nothing else for just sex, she could be annoying, rude, crass, as long as it's not unbearable. If it's unbearable, it means you're a unbearable woman to be around. You're that bad being around. He picked up his bag and left you. Because men love idealistically. Not the same as you guys. Y'all love opportunistically. We'll love you. If a man loves you, he genuinely loves you. So for him to leave,
I agree.
That's crazy. Women don't see that.
Wait. I want to say something. If you guys don't believe this, go look at the chat right now. All the men agreeing. I mean, I'm not a man, but you can see the men in the chat. I mean, there's guys and everybody's saying facts.
It was killing me earlier, though. You seen the chat earlier, Tay?
No, I don't disagree with you. The reasoning is where we defer. I don't disagree that, with your response, but it's just the reasoning that I just don't believe. I just don't get that. Like when you say, he'll stay for the sex, he'll stay for the kids, the child support, so you're not really staying with her. You're just staying because of the obligation. I just don't understand that part.
Well, what I'm saying is men are the biggest settlers. Men settle overwhelmingly. A man will settle. I'm saying is at bare. Let's say you're annoying to be around. A man will still stay with you first because men, if nothing else, for the sexual access. At bare minimum, because that's one thing you provide women. That's one of your major contributions to a man. Your sexual value, right? It's the reason why you leverage it. What I am telling you is, if nothing else, to stay for that reason. So if a man leaves you in the gardens of sex, it's because you are a fucking problem to be around. You are egregious. Because he would stay, otherwise he would stay. Because there's no advantage for a man leaving you. Men the advantage of you do. Because if you leave a man, you get to get rid of sex. Men usually disqualify women silently. We'll do it in our heads and say, okay, I'll never take her serious, but I'll just keep her around. Men will keep you around. Men, you know how many men stay with women who are annoying, who are rude, who are disrespectful, who are crass, who are abusive, who are probably thieves, who have addictions, who don't even give them sex sometimes, and men still stay. So for a man to leave you, there's a problem. As you as a woman, there's a problem to be around. I'm telling you, because men do not leave.
I don't understand that, but
Natasha, can I say something? From a therapy standpoint, I don't know if you know this, but say a man's love language is physical touch, correct? When you take that away from a man, meaning no sucking pee-pee, no none of that stuff, do you know that's like physical pain to them? You might think I'm being dramatic, but go ahead and Google it later. So when women don't do those things, it's hard for a man to want to stay with a woman. Does that kind of make sense? So there's a lot of women who don't do their part. I'm just letting you know.
Wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. Is I agree. I just don't understand how it's the woman's fault. That's the only part I don't understand. Like, but I get it. I get it a little better than I did yesterday.
Natasha,
I just don't understand how the woman is the problem.
Natasha, what do you think women could do better? If you're saying this and you don't understand it, so you must know women who are just doing their part and they're extra, they're putting it down, they're cooking everything. So what do you think about? I want to know your opinion.
No. All those things that you said, I think women can do if they don't do it. I'm clear on that. I just don't understand how you staying with a woman because her sex is good is any benefit to her, or staying with a woman because, of the kids. What's the benefit to her? I just that's the only part I don't get when it comes like. What happens to a woman when she's with a man who treats her that way? Because it's not like it's going to be unseen.
This is why you don't see why people do girl. So if a guy stays with you for any reason, whether it's sex, if a guy stays with you, let's say just because of sex. Well, guess what? For a man to be there, he has to add value. Women do not deal with men seriously that don't provide some type of utility. For you to deal with a man, he has to add value. I already know with anyone that has a man in her life, I already know this man adds value, or he wouldn't be fucking there.
Right.
That's the difference. So for him being here by default means you benefit. How? Maybe you got a place to stay. Maybe he's paying the bills. Maybe he's paying half the rent. It's still a benefit. Maybe he's paying for dates. Maybe he's making you feel good by telling you certain sweet nothings. Maybe he's having sex with you. He's doing, for a man to be there, he provides something, or you would have left. That's how I know.
Right. Okay.
That's how I'm telling you. Left. Women have a short tolerance for a man's ineptitude. Women do not tolerate a man who doesn't provide any utility. Eventually, she will leave you. So they'll tolerate short term. There are girls who tolerate for short term, for a few months, maybe 2 years. She'll eventually get to a sentence. Because a female's mating strategy is unlimited security with an equality man. They're biologically designed to get that. And after a series of time, they're not getting it. They can't do it alone. They're not sticking it out. If she cannot count on him, if he can't perform, if he can't provide something, she is going. Because a woman only loves a man under the pretense of him providing something. He has to provide something for her to be with him. Yep. Or she would be. Women do not treat sex the way men treat sex. Does that make sense now?
I agree.
See, that's all. I just didn't get it. But when you see, sometimes I need you to break it down to the finest tone, because the more you say it, I'm like,
let her talk, Zeus. Let her talk.
I got it. Go ahead.
So I wanted to say something. We were talking about what's going on, and it might be a little off subject, but it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. But have you guys noticed, like, for an example, the reality show, The Baddies, and like the auditioning, the things that women, these young ladies, are the things that they're willing to do just to get on the show. That is the problem. I was talking with my boyfriend about it, and I was like, and we as women, we perpetuate the foolishness by watching it and entertaining it and supporting it, whatnot. But that is the problem. We talk about what's going on with our men in our community. Why are they being more feminine? Like, at one point, I thought that I didn't agree with it. I didn't agree with the. I'm echoing really bad. I didn't agree with the whole idea of like the masculine women and the feminine men. But then I saw that, like, I think that's a huge problem. Like, it bothers. It legit bothers me that this is entertainment. And this is what people are talking about. And this is allowed. That is trash, deplorable behavior. Like, no one's saying anything. Like, no one is saying, I've been wanting to talk about it, but I don't even know how to address it respectfully. Like, you need to sit down, go home and watch yourself. Like, these girls are drunk, belligerent,
Thank you.
cursing. And then we talk about why we can't find a good man.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? We are the problem.
Yeah.
Because, like you just said, women are the problem. Women, the reason why I celebrate is because it's celebrating that for women to be toxic. It's celebrating that women to be disrespectful. I
don't even know if it's celebrating. Like, I feel like there's an agenda underneath it.
It's taunting at this point.
No.
It's being pushed. You know what I'm saying?
There's other men who are interested in breaking down men that look like me and Zeus. And they know that they can't get to us by any other means than through you. And so they have to confuse and brainwash you into thinking, making you think the same thing that Eve, the serpent did with Eve, make you think that you're equal to us, like on any day. You know what I'm saying? And it creates this, you know, just imagine if your 12-year-old daughter thought she was equal to you. You know you could dismantle her. You know you're in full control. Should you show her? You know what I'm saying? We can't show y'all that we're in full control because other men, y'all call on other men when we show y'all that we, you know what I'm saying, is in control. So we have to lose control and trust you to make the right choice. We can't force it on you. So all we can do is have these shows like this and try our hardest to get our man brain into your woman head so you can understand from our perspective and not only your perspective.
See, Polly, here's the thing though, right? They don't care about our perspective. Women just don't care. Why? Because they don't gotta, women don't have to know what a man wants, his needs, what he requires to attract him. And because of that, they don't realize that those are required to retain him. They're also used to being attracted by men. They don't understand to retain a man is a different ballgame, which is why most women can't retain most men. They'll get the sex, they'll get the attraction, but they can never retain these men because most women do not understand what a man wants. They never needed to. A lot of women are useless. And the more attractive she is, the more useless she is because she never had to be useful. And that's just most women in general. And women now, they feel like men got to qualify to them. They feel like, and it's true for the attraction. The problem is for you to retain, you have to qualify to that man. And women don't want to compete nowadays. They feel like they're better than men. They feel like they don't gotta respect men. They have their own independence now. They feel like why I gotta compete for what reason? Let a man come to me. Waiting for this magical dude to come to them rather than them putting in the work to get a man. To understand what a man likes, what a man wants. Most women do not even know what a man wants or likes. When I ask them on my lives, most women know what a man wants. They don't know what a man. They'll tell you, I don't know. But I get niggas though. That's their mindset. They conflate sexual attraction with relationship attraction all the time. They conflate getting a man from keeping a man, which is why they're struggling. And then when they actually look at this top tier dude, he's smashing and passing her. Because a lot of guys will just smashing that shit. Want to know why? Because you're coming in with the wrong mindset. How do I benefit? How do I get this? What can you do for me? Most mindset the guy is me. Extract. How what can you do for me? It's never what can I do for the man. And when you change your mind and say, what can I do for this man? How can I help and benefit him? That's how you retain a man. When you make him your sole priority. When you make him the food chain for you.
We
and
just
not
had that
yourself.
conversation.
But so many women are selfish now and concerned with what they get for themselves. They lose out on getting a good man.
Yep.
You're working on the wrong things. When you take care of him, he takes care of you. The problem is you're so focused on getting to take care of yourself, you can't take care of him. That's the problem. And you have to learn.
Zeus, do you think that we have overcomplicated? We made it really, because I've come to this rationalization that men are very simple. They don't require much. And I think we as women have overcomplicated, overthought the shit. Well, sorry, overthought the mess, whatever, and we've got it all messed up. But I had like epiphany.
That's somebody's background?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing.
Is it? Am I still listening?
I think one has to mute when the other one is talking.
Just mute your phones. The guy talking, just mute your phones.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. I think it was yours, Polly. Just mute your phone.
Can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you, but just mute your phone. Yeah, Rose, what you're saying?
Yeah. So basically what I was saying, I think that where I'm at in my life when it comes to a relationship and with my partner, I think it's just very simple. A very simple thing, being peaceful, helping him out, helping him achieve like his vision, because his vision is our vision. I think that's pretty much it. You don't ask for much. Like, men don't ask for much. Y'all don't need much. Y'all have, like mine, he wants to watch the game on a certain day, wants to be fed. It's very simple. Like, it's not a bunch of stuff. Like, all that, like, he even went shopping, took me shopping, and I was surprised at the actual clothes that he picked out for me. They were very conservative, very modest. It was nice and chic, but we've had it effed up. Like, now, if he would have asked me a year ago what I thought what he liked in women, I was completely off. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I was off, because I was looking at social media, what is mainstream, what they're putting out in society, and that is effing us up. That is effing our...
You know what it is? Y'all see those girls get sex, get flown out, but all they get is penis, and that's it.
That's it.
They don't get retained. They don't. None of those girls you see on social media get rings. Majority of them don't get rings. The marriage rate is as low as it's ever been before. These girls are getting sex, and that's it. A lot of these girls are attracted. They can attract high level men. They can attract good men.
But you know what the problem? That's what the issue is. And the problem is we have these shows like the baddies, and the crazier and the more deranged that you act, the more likely you're going to be casted. You know what I'm saying? Like, these love and like all of these things, like, I cannot believe, I'm so disgusted every time I see it. I'm disturbed at it, and people think it's funny. They're like, oh, did you see the last episode? I'm like, why is that entertaining? It's not. Where are these girls' mothers, sisters, aunties, grandmas telling them to sit down somewhere, put some clothes on, go watch? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Yep, they're supporting it.
That's the thing.
The crazy part about it, I'm gonna say 25% of those women don't even act like that. They just doing that just to get a position. That's not even who they are, but they'll stoop to that level just to get notoriety. And it's sad. That makes it even worse when that's not who you are. Yeah, I agree. But it's y'all fault, the men's fault, for throwing the bag at them and getting them started with that in the first place.
But it's not even the men throwing the bag at them. It's these networks.
It's y'all fault. No, it's not the networks, because it didn't start with the networks. It started with celebrities throwing money at these women with the bodies, because that was just that was an anomaly at one point. Getting surgery, that was an anomaly. You had to be at a certain social status or financial status to get your body done. Now it's a common thing, but it's men's fault that these women are out here carrying on like that, throwing bags.
Because we support them. Yes, sis. Put it on. Put it that on. You know that influencer? Put it on. Put it that F on. Put your fupa on his head. Like this, it's us. I thought it was men, but it is us. If we checked our sisters and was like, that's not cool, sis. If we shunned our sisters and gave them the cold shoulder,
yes,
we would have
exactly.
had we wouldn't want to do that. It's us.
I was just joking when I said that.
I'm so serious when I see it. Like, I wish I could boycott the and right now it's the baddies. I have such a problem with that.
Yo, you guys,
and then I watched that 15 minutes of the reunion with Krishan, Rock, whatever, being drunk in public. I'm embarrassed if I get sick, if I get too intoxicated, whatever. Like, you'll never know that I'm intoxicated, but I am embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm embarrassed when I post, and I'm an artist myself, whatnot. And I got out of a contract because they were like, sex sells. That's not the brand that I wanted to put. That's not what I wanted to promote. So it's taking me a little bit longer to get to where I want to be, but because there is a level of there is shame. Like, where is our shame, our respect, our dignity?
Bring back shaming.
We didn't shame them.
Bring back shaming.
I don't care. Like, if we get on Instagram, we see like, and these are girls with children, and I have children, and that's really why I don't want my kids to see 10, 15 years later that I'm caked up with, you know what I'm saying? My son doesn't need to know what I look like. You know what I'm saying? My grandma or my aunts, like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me.
You said with the shame at, right? The problem is feminism got rid of shame. Women nowadays don't feel shame than they do nowadays. Women nowadays have been liberated. Once you were liberated back in the 1960s,
we weren't liberated.
Huh?
It wasn't liberation.
The problem was, the problem is women got power, but they got upfront power, and they didn't realize that power. A lot of times we get things that are not good for us. You can receive something, and because you have so much of it, it's a detriment to you. What women don't realize, feminism was a detriment to you. It gave you a lot of power and a lot of ways. You're making more money now. You're more educated. You have this. You're able to do what you want to do. You're able to be a host now. You're able to sleep with who you want to sleep with. You're pregnant with 18 different men. The problem, and you got birth control now. The problem is, it hurts you in the long run. Mm-hmm. It's upfront benefits that come with. The problem is that you get fast money come with slow problems. So you got these upfront benefits, but they come with slow problems. You don't see up front, and later on it haunts you. Later on it hurts you. When you hit that wall, that's when you realize, oh shit, having sex with different men, having through that whole phase has messed me up now. I have 3 kids because of this whole phase I went through. Oh, 3 different men. Less valuable to the men I want to date. Now I don't qualify to these men because they don't want to do me seriously. That's what's going on nowadays. You got all these benefits up front, but you're hurting in the long run. 1 in 4 women are on antidepressants or anti-anxiety medication. I was just speaking about women are less happy now than they ever have been before. Women have reported the lowest levels of happiness. Even though you have all these going on.
I agree. I was just joking when I said it was men for dropping the bag, but I agree with you, Rose. I looked at that for branding purposes for the most part, but when I see that, it's just they became the majority. So, like, a woman like me, it's just like, what happened? Like, what is going on here? But since it's what, you know, like, who do you have the conversation with? Because it's normalized to be like a bum, like to just show your body and fight it. Even like that's something normalized.
You can't even like find a decent piece of clothing, whatever, unless the butt's cut out, the back cut out. Like, it's just like, dang,
not the booty.
Can I have a t-shirt? Can I have something nice? Whatever. Like, when did classy become? I don't know. Yeah, like, it was like when you try to go find something. I don't know. It's hard shopping. It's hard. I feel some type of way.
But Tay, you see as a person, Tay.
No, I just keep thinking about the stuff that I always talk about, man. Like, women at one point were so scared to have their nudes leaked. Now everybody's nude all over social media. And then women want to bitch and complain that their men are liking pictures, talking to other women, but you're telling your girl, shake it, show your body, do this. But when it all turns back around on you, you're mad. But no, you're telling your homegirls to be thoughts and putitas. That's on you. That whole OnlyFans thing, oh, I don't even want to hear about this. It like irritates me because you guys encourage this sexual liberation thing and it's backfired. Now when guys sexualize you, you're complaining and bitching, but you got a G-string on in the winter time. I don't understand that. So I agree with everything you're saying. Your booty's out, everything's out. Why are they looking at me? Be quiet, dude. You wear clothes like this then. Dress like a boy. It's not that hard. But I agree with all you guys right now. All you guys.
I want to add in.
We all agree on one thing.
I agree with that as well. This could be real. Back when men were in control, it wasn't perfect, but it definitely wasn't as fucked up as it is right now. Mm-hmm. You know, now that we've, inflated control, by giving it to everybody.
Exactly.
Now we got a situation to where the situation is fucked up.
It's a circus.
Now, but this is the thing though. At the end of the day, all of this is to secure your choice. Everything that us men have done over the past and it's to protect your choice. You see, at a point in time, you didn't have no choices. We just gonna take when we want to take, give when we want to give. That's it. You just gotta live. But we decided that you needed a choice, that you should have a choice, and we should protect your choice. It's just like the people who died for us voting. Don't waste the shit. You know what I'm saying? All these hundreds of millions of years to come to this point to where you can finally have a voice, have some money, it's a choice. Make the right ones. And then when you make the wrong ones, be accountable for your decisions. Don't start pointing the fingers and is this person. They didn't choose. They just dealt with you from choosing them.
Man,
yeah, I know. Like men,
say,
go ahead.
I just want to say, first of all, you guys, get the likes up, subscribe to both our channels, man. This is dope content right here, you guys. We trying to give it to you. We plan on coming back to you guys, twice a week if possible, but we try to give it to you guys. And let us know any critiques in the chat, if anything, But yeah, I just feel like here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The thing is, this is a problem right now. We live in a world where what women have gotten everything they wanted. They've gotten the independence they sought. They've got the power they've sought. They now don't need a man, but now the problem is you still want a man. And so because you've now created this life where you didn't need a man, you now move and act like it. You move carelessly through the world. You have whole phases. You get pregnant by all these men. You chase a career. You don't chase a husband. You don't even care about men. You treat men as a luxury, not a necessity. You treat men like it's not necessary for you. You don't, because you move this way now, you're less attracted to the men you all want to date. It's keeping you all single. Women now look for reasons to stay single nowadays. You have so many options, so many choices because you suffer from a choice paradox that you can't pick the right man. Because even when you pick a guy, you're not happy with him. You're not content. You're always worrying, is there better out there? Your hypergamy starts itching you. And you start looking for better. Is he better than him? Is he better than this one? You start looking at Instagram and social media, which was already polluting you in the first place. But then you see a girl getting bags and shoes, and you think you deserve the same thing. Not realizing your value may not be the same level her value is at. She may be prettier than you. She may have more going on than you. All these things may be different. Or she may be having sex for money. You don't know what's going on in that scenario. But you're comparing yourself to her because women think that they're all, to some degree, they're special. So because she's special, I'm special too. You're lying to yourselves and keeping yourself in a bubble, in a box that is inevitably keeping you single. Go ahead, guys. I digress.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I was saying, and I think a lot of those women are having, sex from, and they're not happy. I've met those girls before. I'm in I was a part of, I think I'm still in the group, Baddies of Atlanta. It's a model, it's a photographer. It's pretty much it's a place for models and photographers and videographers to get together, and they'll do casting calls. And when you look at these girls' pages, their lives look amazing. They're in these nice houses and these nice shoes and these nice cars with these guys with money and things like that. That's what it looks like. But when you meet them and you have a conversation with them, you're like, what in the world? Like, we're on you can't have a sensible conversation. They think that is the epitome of success. Like, I met a girl and she said, you need to get a guy. She was like, you need to get a dope dealer. And if he's driving this car. Now, this was about 10 years ago, telling my age. But 10 years ago, they were talking about 22s, the Crown Vic with the 22s, whatever, and going to their projects, because you can have a baby, live in the projects, and be sad. Get you a dope boy, get in the projects, and you good. And I was like, that's what you want out of life? That's what you want. And even with these girls like in Atlanta, like it's not what it seems. They're unhappy. You know, they're arguing and fighting amongst themselves, trying to look for a man. They're trying to make ends meet. They live in check to check. So they have to do these things for money versus just sitting down, being a lady, and just allowing the men to come to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
I have a question. Who do you think has self-improvement more, men or women? Who do you think self-improves and heals?
Men for sure.
Thank you.
For sure.
Wait. Let's keep a little bit order. Let's go first. We go with Diamond. Go ahead, Diamond.
Go ahead, Diamond.
Say the question again.
Who do you think self-improves more? Who heals better? Who actually does the work on themselves? Men or women?
Men or women. Who's more prone to self-improvement?
She said, come on, Diamond.
Come back to me.
No,
we got to answer. Come on, I mean, you're holding the stream up. Come on. Who do you?
Men or women?
Men or women? Be genuine. If you feel like it's whatever you feel like, go ahead.
I would say women.
Okay, and we'll get back to why. How about this? Who do you think is more than women?
Men.
Okay. And Rose, who do you believe?
I said men for sure. So I'm in the reserves, right? And all of my battle buddies that are males, whenever I see them, they're reading self-improvement books. They're constantly reading the M therapy. They're working out. They're eating healthy. They give me tips on how to, how I should work out and how I should move. And you need to focus on this. Like, they're constantly in a state of improvement, and men are more likely to take accountability faster than women are. And the reason why is because we've been told all our life there's nothing wrong with us. Nothing wrong with us. Be you, sis.
So
that's the issue.
So Diamond, why did you say girls? Curious.
I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm constantly looking.
No. We asked men and women. We didn't ask about Diamond's experience. It was a general statement, so it doesn't make a difference. Let's take it out yourself for a minute. The world is bigger than Diamond.
Even the people around me, they're constantly looking to improve.
How are they improving? What are they doing?
It's not just, oh yeah, girl, just do whatever. You doing bullshit and I'm going to encourage it. No, I'm not that friend. I'm always encouraging my friends to aim higher, and we all do that for each other. So I don't
believe you self-improve more because of what you see around you.
Yeah.
Okay. Natasha, why do you believe men?
Because men are more decisive. They don't spend time thinking, about everything else. They just, they see a problem for the most part, make a decision and just get to it. Women kind of like to play too much.
Okay. Any comments on Polly? Go ahead. Okay, Polly.
Can y'all hear me first of all?
Yes.
Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So men are way better at self-improvement, and it's because we have to be. Women don't have to be good at self-improvement. In fact, women who don't self-improve, for some reason, these new modern men are choosing those women because they feel like they have greater sex. But yeah, men, if they don't complete a task today, tomorrow they're gonna feel like shit. And that's just it. You know what I'm saying? It's like
son, where'd you find this?
Self-improvement is a part of a man's psyche already. A woman got to be told, you're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. And you need to change this way in order for her to change.
Facts. I like that. Say, anything you got to say about that? Or?
No, I agree. I'll say the same thing for men. I can't say all women, but I do see a lot of women, drinking, going from guy to guy, not healing, not trying to work things out, not trying to be better for themselves. And again, from counseling women, it's the same repeated patterns. And some of them are way younger than me. They don't even know how to read books. They don't even know how to educate themselves. They're more focused on dudes and stuff right now than self-improvement. So I'm going with men. I'm going with men.
When's the last time you read a book?
Exactly.
What is the last book you read?
Exactly. Thank you.
I've had that conversation. They're like, read.
I don't read.
Like,
I drink and
said
smoke.
a bad word.
I'm gonna say this.
For real.
So I'm gonna say this, right? I think so here's the thing. The world we live in, men self-improve because men have to live in a fact-based reality. The reality men have to live in, like Polly said, we don't get to not self-improve, because if we don't self-improve, guess what? We don't get girls. We don't get to procreate. You don't get a family. Right? So the world would continue going on if men didn't self-improve. The world would work around, would go on fine if women didn't self-improve. But without a man self-improve, it'd be a problem. And most women don't self-improve because they never had to self-improve. You are used to not for you to get a man, there's nothing required for you to attract a man. And you all base your relationship with their attraction of the standards for attraction, which is none. All you gotta do is be attractive and available for men to have sex with you. So you've never had to, there's no burden on you when it comes to commitment. And another thing is men will disqualify you silently, so you'll still probably not know what you're doing wrong. Because men will stick it out with you and not plan on ever taking you serious. Men will keep you in a sex-only category and keep you around. So you never know that you have a bad attitude, you're annoying, you're a raging bitch, you have certain bad traits, you're old, all these things you just will not know. People keep you around and think you're fat as shit and won't tell you you're fucking fat. Why? Because he benefits from the sex probably. But deep down inside, he's like, this bitch unattractive as hell. He wishes he with you, but he sticks it out. Men will settle with you overwhelmingly, and you know nothing's wrong with you. You think you're perfect. Let me go talk to him. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, why did he leave you? Why did you leave him? Well, I did nothing wrong. She genuinely believes that too. She genuinely believes she did nothing wrong. They have a certain level of lack of fucking awareness on their faces when they say it, that you know that they genuinely believe that shit. Women do not realize for you to keep the men that you want to keep, for you to retain a man, you have to self-improve.
Of course.
Because you already come in with bad behaviors, bad traits, certain undesirable habits that a man will not tolerate. And you all want the best man you can find. Well, guess what? That best man has best man standards. But just so you're doing losers and guys who don't have standards, that when you give it the guy who does have standards, it seems foreign to you. To hear these things. To hearing them. So many modern day women deal with modern day fucking men. You don't realize the traditional man that you want has traditional standards. And you just don't measure up because you don't qualify. You've done a bunch of dumb shit in your past that made you undesirable to the very same man you want to date. So all these girls who want a man who's a protector, who's a provider, who pays all the bills, you may not qualify for that man, even though you want him. Because of things you did 10 years ago. Choices you made 10 years ago. You may have decided to have two other men. That in itself makes you not traditional. Whether you realize it or not. You do things that put you in a position to where you're less attractive from a relationship standpoint. And a man, like I said, will still have sex with you, still do the bare minimum to keep you around. Pay for a date here and there, pay for this, pay for your hair, your nails, whatever you got, because men will play the game with your ass all day and tomorrow. But they will not plan on staying with you. It's not worth it. And a lot of you women are just not worth it a lot of times. Your behaviors, your past, your nonsense has disqualified you completely. And that's just a fact, but I digress.
Yep.
How come we didn't get one of them? I know somebody said something else good. Jesus.
I gave it to Rose earlier. But go ahead.
Oh, I want to ask another question for you guys. What do you guys think about the single mom thing? Do you believe that a man should date a single mother over a normal woman who has no kids? You can go first. You already jumped in. Go ahead. Go. I want to know your opinion. Everybody's opinion.
Great. So we're going to go in a line first. Ask the question again, and we're going to start with Rose.
Okay. So I want to know what you guys think about single mothers, because a lot of single mothers feel that they're entitled to a high value man or things like that. And high value men do not want to date single moms. So I want to know what you guys think about that. Instead of guy get with it. Go ahead.
I'm probably going to say something that is, here's the thing. My first answer is no. Okay. But here's the thing. I think that's where polygamy comes in at for women like that. So when you have when you're a woman and you have baggage, as you know, and children and things like that, and you want a high value man or a man that's doing all these things, and let's say you made mistakes back in your past, you made some bad decisions, but you got your shit together, you're at a point where you can be led, where you can commit, you can submit and those things, whatever, but you want this man, you got to understand that this man has better options out here. So you're gonna have to roll with it. You're gonna have to roll with it. If you want those things, and he's a man of standards, and he can take care and all that other stuff, just shut up and get with the program. But that's the reason why women are single, moms are single, because they want this man to themselves. They want to act like they're the woman, the prize, like, you know, like they don't have any additional baggage, like, you know, they don't have all these extra responsibilities. And they want this man who might not have any responsibilities and who has a woman that doesn't have any extra baggage, whatever. So at this point, just share them. You can get the same benefits that you want, but they would rather suffer and be by themselves and let ego and pride get in the way of practicality. Did I say it right? Practicality.
It don't matter how you say it, baby. It can't do it.
You see why I'm with her, Zeus?
So that's it.
She got it.
You know, I get a lot of backlash for that, but that's the simple answer. Women, single moms, you can win too. You can win too. There's love and there's space that you just gonna have to share your man.
Agreed. Oh my God.
Damn.
Next,
son.
who's next?
Next we got Diamond.
Yeah, Diamond.
You muted, Diamond.
I don't think a single mother should feel entitled to a high value man, because you do come with baggage. Of course, somebody's gonna want somebody with no baggage over somebody with baggage. That's just like common sense to me. So yeah, that it's just.
Do you think they deserve monogamy?
That's the question again, Tay.
Yeah.
So do you believe? I just want you to understand what is your point of view on women who want to date high value men or just date men when they have children? A man would prefer dating a normal woman without kids, but why? Do you think a woman deserves that? You know, a man high value. Does that make sense?
What do you mean by high value?
High value, loyalty, 6 figures, can take care of you.
This shit that you don't see every day. High value.
Yes.
Scarcity.
High value. Yes.
I mean, I'm a single mother, so I don't personally feel like I gotta have a man that makes 6 figures. You understand what I'm saying? But if he's making good money and I'm making good money, decent money, then we'll be fine. I'm not like, I don't sit here and walk around like he gotta make 6 figures. No, that's not what I believe.
Yeah, I don't think the 6 figures thing is good. You know, value is determined on supply and demand. So basically, if there's no other, let me say real quick, if there's no other men in your life, and this is the only man in your life, that's a high value man to you. See, it's determined from supply and demand. And if your supply is short, your demand has to be high, and vice versa. So if you get a lot of niggas, your supply is huge. So the demand for a man ain't that much. You feel me? It's different. It's if you dating 2 men, both of those are high value men because you're not dating 20. You understand? So you might see, okay, he has nice dreads and I like dreads. So he's more valuable to you just because he has dreads. You see, value is always determined by the person who's buying. You feel me? That's why we always say, women, you can't determine your own value. Your value is absolutely determined by us because we're the buyers.
So see, there's also a what's the word for it? There's a general term for high value man. And because women are the buyers, and women in general want the same things in men. They overwhelmingly want to see men. A protective provider, more ambitious, more confident, can provide status, provide a certain lifestyle, etc. Right? It's in general. If they could get that, they would want that. That's what I mean. They prefer that man. Now that don't mean they're gonna get them when they want them.
6 figures is not that though. I want to put that out there. 6 figures is not that.
But see, A man
that's
who's
the
able
point
to,
that I was trying to
see,
make.
it is that. I'm gonna say it is that though. I'm gonna tell you why. Because generally, in a general term, it is that. Because we gotta have standards. We gotta have boundaries, right? Otherwise, anybody in the world is a high value in that case. We have to have general standards, a universal standard. Universally, a man who's taking care of himself, who's able to provide, who's making consistent income, who has a network, who has people who colleagues and people around who respect him. He has to be able to demand respect. A man who has just everything overall together, right? That's a man who's a high value, which is rare. This is why this is why a girl would treat dating you different than she treat dating Chris Brown, because he's high value. He is rare to come across. Women want a man who's rare to come across. So by high value, for you to be a high value man, you have to be making a bare minimum 6 figures to qualify that, because otherwise you're not a high value man in her eyes. And especially nowadays, nowadays we live in a world where women attach a man's worth to his income. Whether it's right or wrong, that's what they do. So because of that, and women are the buyers of men, women in society in general judges a man for his performance, then you got to perform as a man. Performing is you being able to generate income and create excess resources, which has a number on it. And unfortunately, that number is 6 figures or above.
Yeah.
But
So I can agree with the general consensus of what a high value man is, generally speaking. But it's kind of like to me, it's kind of like I'm gonna say wishy-washy, because value is always determined by the person. Like for instance, we generally speaking, a Lamborghini is very valuable, but it's not valuable to the person that wants a Ford Bronco. You know, it's like so
but see, it is valuable. And see, generally speaking, Lamborghini is still valuable though, whether they want it or not. It still has value because versus so what I'm saying is there's a general consensus. Personally is different. Personally is a whole different story. But
that's what I'm
universal
saying.
High value man. There's a universal standard for a high value man universally, and for a man, it's always gonna be a number attached to that. Some women want 6 figures, some women want 7 figures. But there's always a number for a man because we're measuring on performance. There's a number for us always. Every woman is different. For her, it's 5 figures. For some women, 6 figures. I'm pretty sure for her, it'd be 6 figures, 7 figures. She come across a man who making 7, 8 figures. She's gonna treat him differently than she treats all these other niggas who make 5 figures. I promise you. Why? He's high value. He's rare for her to come up with.
I seen that too, though. Like I would say this, because sometimes it be them niggas with the money, the most money, that be the most insecure niggas, and they the ones who be getting finessed and played.
But you gotta have the package, like I said, you gotta package. You can't just have the thing. There's a whole package now. There's not just one thing and being measured. For a man to even be attractive, there's a multi-varied analysis women use. It's never just one thing. No woman dates a man. Women don't care about a man's money. This whole thing about gold digging isn't even. It exists, but it's not as common as people think. A lot of women just want a man who can provide. A lot of women who deal with men don't even know how much these niggas even make.
Fact.
They just see the lifestyle and they want to be a part of it. They don't know the actual number he has going on. They don't know what's actually in his bank account. They just like the lifestyle. Women are attracted to status. Status is heavily attracted to women. So because of it, they attach that to a man who makes money, because for you to have status, you gotta have money, which comes with respect, which comes with confidence. See how all that is a byproduct of you making the money? This will make you high value. Having all these things in check comes along with having the money. They are a byproduct of the money. Does that make sense?
I do. I agree with you.
But go ahead. Generally. Oh no, Natasha, you're next.
People can date whoever they want, high value. I don't really subscribe to, high value, low value, single, not single. Date whoever you want to date. They got kids, don't have kids, and mind your business. I don't really get that deep into it.
Go ahead, Tay.
I don't know. I agree with her somewhat too, but for me, even though I said high value or whatever, I don't believe high value. You can argue this, Zeus. I already know. High value to me is not 6 figures, just like she said. I just asked a simple question because I want to know what you guys think. But for me, I don't like the polyamorous stuff. Yeah, I know we're about to argue, me and you, Zeus, but I don't believe in that. I believe in God and like a normal thing. I think that I'm going to say, I feel that you have to be the type of woman to, want to be taken care of and let a man belittle you and do something like that. Like, I'm sorry. You have to have a certain type of, this is me hating at this point. You have to have some type of insecurity to let a man do that. I really don't think that that's, so why would you want that? Why would you want your man to dip and dabble with other women?
Let a man. You said let a man do it.
Why would you let a man? No, because think about this.
You can't
Polyamorous
see
relationships.
that puts you
wait,
at the top.
don't cut me off. Literally, you have to understand, with polyamorous relationships, it's always one-sided. It's never the girl does whatever she wants and the guy gets to do it. It's only the woman. So it doesn't benefit anybody but the man. So that's why you're doing it for the man. So where are your needs, man? I've met a lot of women and talked to them online. They don't even like doing this, Zeus. You know this, right? Some women are just doing because they want to be taken care of. Go ahead. I want to hear you guys. I want to hear it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let Polly go first because Polly was ready to talk, and I'm gonna go after Polly. I'm gonna torch you. This is about the issue right here.
I already know.
We take a back and forth about this all the time.
I want to first ask a yes or no question.
Okay.
Have you ever to her? Okay. Have you ever seen or been in a polygamous relationship?
I've seen one. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and based off of what you saw the man doing whatever he wanted to do,
yep.
And the woman.
Yep.
Okay. I don't want you to base all poly situations off of that one that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not just one. I've seen a lot. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you. Currently speaking, me and Rose are in a polygamous relationship. Our polygamous relationship isn't like that.
Okay.
They come with boundaries.
For sending the super chat into Tay. Love you, Tay.
Love you, Tay. Super chat. Ooh,
thank you.
Look at that. Admirers and shit. But yeah. So polygamy is just the construct that everyone lives in anyways, but refuses to acknowledge its validity. You know, there is nothing any woman can do about a man using his penis, no matter what you think. If you I won't let him do that. No, it's his choice and his decision. And the reason why he won't be honest with the woman is because he knows that she thinks she's in control and he needs to play on her delusion. What we need to do as people, this is facts, because we know y'all not in control, but we'll play on y'all. Yeah, you're in control, babe. Yeah, it's whatever you say. And then as soon as you're not around, we're fucking the next woman. Just like that.
Wow.
You see?
Well, then he better hide it good.
Yeah, see, that's the problem right there. That's the problem. Because he shouldn't have to hide nothing. He should be able to tell you who he is, what he wants, and his deepest desires, and be accepted just as you want.
No, then I won't. I'll accept it.
Damn, son, where'd you find that?
So
listen, that's good.
Because that's not
good.
Let me
So I'm with you with that, Tay.
Listen, you say it's not for you, but you definitely got cheated on by a man, and he came back and had sex with you afterwards before, just like every other woman, and that is polygamy.
I've been with a man who hasn't cheated before.
Here's the thing, right? What you women don't realize is most of you have been in polygamous relationships, whether you knew it or not anyway. That's number one. And I don't mean, but most of you, I mean, this has been going on. Women always saying monogamy is traditional. No, it's not. It's actually not. Polygamy was the first form of relationships where men have always been, since the dawn of time, polygamous. Men have always been. Let me say
something real quick.
I got that. Women were always monogamous. They have always been monogamous because they were never allowed to be promiscuous. It's been shunned because of the surety of a child being that man's child. They had to be that way. I got you right now today. So because of this, we live in a world now where the female mating strategy is upheld while the male's mating strategy is totally disregarded. What I mean by that is, what is a female's mating strategy? Unlimited security within a quality man. She's biologically designed to want that because she can only bring one child to term per year. So she has to be more selective in the man she chooses to have sex with and consolidate on. A man's mating strategy is unlimited sexuality with as many women as possible. There are a lot of biological reinforcements to support a man's decision to be polygamous. Just why a man is able to have detached sex at the rate he can versus a woman. It's a reason why we're designed for it. Men are made to bust as many nuts as we can a day to the day we die. We're designed for this. So what I'm telling you is, we live in a world where now the females are used to getting what they want. They're used to getting monogamy because they make money now. They don't need a man now. They can argue for it now more so. Whereas before, women didn't make their money before. Men were able to be who they wanted to be. They were able to be men. So nowadays, you have men nowadays who have to now go out in the world, create their money, create their status to where they're making so much money now, they now can get the power back into their hands again. They now can gain that leverage back into their pockets again. To where they're now able to say, hey, listen, I'm going to fuck other bitches. Either you like it or not. If you're not with it, okay, cool. By that time, he's already smashed you anyway, and he's able to move on. Because a man's job is to obtain sex, not commitment. That's your job. And you women who want this high value man who have this ish together, when the man making flat, if a man is broke, he's gonna cheat on you because men only have faith with their options. If you're dealing with a man who has options because he's attractive, because he's tall, because he's making money, because he has status, because he has all this stuff going on, you are going to share him, whether you know it or not. You're never gonna have a man who has his stuff together to yourself because he had to go out in the world and create his get his stuff together. You were born with your value. You need to create his value. A man who has to create his value is not gonna be like a woman. You don't make money to have sex with only you. A man makes money to be able to be attracted to a majority of women. Just like you make money to the way you don't need a man. You make money for two different reasons. So
can I interject from a woman who is a polygamous woman? Please. So here's my rationale with this. We all can agree that women outnumber men 3-1, right? Mm-hmm. On Earth right now, there is more women than there are men. So it is physically impossible for us to have our own man. That's the first thing. Like if we were to say, okay, you get a man, you get a man, you get a man, there's going to be women without men. That's the first thing. Now, with my understanding of that and my understanding of, like, again, the biology, like the whole purpose of us being here as human beings is to procreate. That is our sole purpose. But we got extra stuff, you know, social structures and laws and all of this other extra things that are going on. But if we stripped everything away from that and just like we were just animals, not sentient, that's exactly what we would be doing. It would be the women and it would be the male, and he would have multiple female species and he will be producing. That is his whole purpose, is to ensure the survival of his species. And that is why he has sperm for till the day that he dies, and why we ovulate once a month and then we stop. We're born with all the eggs that we're going to have in our lifetime, whatever, and we don't even use them all. We only can get pregnant one time out of the year unless we have an anomaly of, you know, multiple births. But it doesn't make like this. When you look at it from that perspective, it does not. Monogamy goes against our nature, our biological design. Now, me as a polygamous or a polygamous woman, whatever, in a closed polygamous situation, I'm good. Why does it matter? Like, if my needs are being met, my children are being taken care of, whatnot, you know, I have everything that I need, I'm comfortable. Why does it matter if he goes sleep with another woman? You know, between me and him, we have, I know it sounds crazy and it sounds foreign, whatever, because we've been brainwashed. This is not what we were doing originally.
Can I say something? I'm saying, I never got to talk. Wait, some people were born traditional. Some people were born watching two people together. So the one thing that I didn't like that he said, I don't care what anybody does with their relationship. That's fine. But you said all men cheat. I don't like that. You have to understand this. If it's consensual and you both say, hey, we're both poly, turn it on up. But if you're doing that behind her back, you are cheating. It's not a polyamorous relationship because you said so. And then you're talking about control and all that. No. Like what she's saying, I understand. You can do whatever you want, baby, but that's you. You're saying you can mess around with all these people. I'm not like that. I like to keep my stuff sacred to myself. My grandpa didn't raise me to be the type of woman to open my legs up to everybody. And I'm not going to be with a man who's going and dabbling to other women. That's not what I like. And there are men who don't cheat. So if you're going to say, make sure you say facts. Of course, there are men who do cheat. I do understand that. But there's a percentage of men who don't. And if you're going to be polyamorous, once again, make sure it's consensual with both of you. Saying that a guy could do whatever he wants. That's not you. I'm talking about this one over here. That was like, what the hell?
That's not how our situation. That's not how our dynamics work. Whatever. There's definitely.
Hold on, Polly. What I said was men only speak with their options. So if a man has the option to cheat on you, he is going to cheat on you. You may not know for 10 years to cheat on you. You may go get cheated on, don't know they got cheated on. I was with my last girl for 5 years. She not one time caught me. In her mind, she's a monogamous relationship. If a man is good at what he's doing, you're not going to find out. But what I am telling you is, for a man, men are faithful with their options. You women are dating men who have options. He is going to exercise those options. That you know how you know you got a winner? When he has the options, he exercises those options. When a man has options, that's how you know you got a winner. A man, this how you know women think a man being faithful to them is them being monogamous. You wanna know how a man shows you his loyalty? When he's able to have sex with other women and still choose to come home and protect and provide for you.
Okay.
Men do not see sex the way you see sex. Tay, you women are seeing sex from your lens.
No,
To
I
you,
agree with you, but we have boundaries and we're different. That's fine.
For men, sex is literally exercise. It is literally like taking a piss. It is that for men is like taking a piss. Sure, I can go home and take a piss, but I don't mind using a random porta potty. I don't mind going to McDonald's and take a piss real quick. It doesn't matter to us. We can literally disassociate ourselves from sex, but you can't. So you're seeing it from your lens. It's cheating. It's cheating if you do it because you show a man. How does a woman show a man loyalty? Through sexual fidelity. Because you are valued on your sex. I'm not valued on my sex. I'm valued on what I can provide your ass. See the difference? You care about the security value I bring.
We have different boundaries. You can speak for other women, but not me. That's not what I value. I don't value for that stuff.
Can I?
I'm gonna jump on. Speaking in general, Tay, I'm not saying you. What I'm saying is women value men's security value. Men value your sexual value. This is why you're able to leverage dates. This is why you're able to get cash apps. You're on OnlyFans. This is why you're able to be strip clubs. All these things because men value your sexual value. So if you give it away, you're giving away majority of your fucking value. This is why when you do it, it's a problem. Plus, for you to do it as a woman, you have to get to a certain place mentally for you to even commit the act. Versus a man, we ain't got to get to anywhere. We're always in that position. We're always ready to have random girls. Men are naturally seek variety. Even a man who's, if you're dealing with a man to you, I promise you, he's probably jerking off, fantasizing about having sex with other women anyway. The only difference is he may not be able to exercise that option because he may not have the right value. He may not have the shit together. He may not have the money, except to keep a girl. It costs to go on dates. A lot of men don't apply to it. So a lot of men are monogamous by default. But what I'm telling you is, if a man has the option to cheat on you, he will cheat on you almost certainly. And the more he has going on for himself financially and status-wise and being attractive, the prevalent he is going to cheat on you. The more likely he's going to cheat on you. That's what I'm telling you. If you choose to cry on a Honda or cry on a Rolls Royce, pick a better man who's worthy of being cheated on with. Because they're going to do it anyway. You're lying to yourself, creating a delusion, thinking you're going to have it to yourself. Women want the benefits of a successful man, but don't want to pay the cost of having him. There is a cost, and that is the cost. On top of that, he's not going to have as much time for you. I don't want to pay these costs, but you want these benefits. Everything in life comes with a cost. So either you choose less valuable men, less attractive men, so you can be monogamous to you where he doesn't have that many options, or deal with the punches. Like she said earlier, take come with it. You can't have one without the other. Go ahead, Polly.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Everything. Don DeMarco, that joint. Everything my nigga just said was A1. Now, also too though, I want to bring in a couple of other things, irrefutable facts as well. All countries that haven't been taken over by the men are polygamous countries, where men have multiple wives. If let's say, for lack of better words, if black men were in control of this country, you would be a sister wife. The only reason you're not is because other men are in control. I just want to let y'all know that, because in the countries where the men are in control of their country, natural way, those men have multiple wives all over the world. It's only here where it's not like that.
And even if you look at even across history, every king, every sultan, every jarl, every emperor have had harems of women. Any man of means have had. Look at any VIP section in love. What do you see? Multitudes of women, not one chick. It's not attractive to have one chick. For any man, when a man makes money, what do you see around him? Women. You don't see one girl. That's not a man's measure of success. Having many women is a byproduct of telling you that he's performing well in life. He's created enough value to where women want him. It's the reason why Drake can get anyone he wants, because he's creating enough value in the world for him to want him. Having women is also a status symbol to a degree. You're respected when you have a lot of women. When women have a lot of men, they're not respected because you're playing the game on easy mode. So no one respects you for having a lot of men because it's easy for you to get. But for a man to have a lot of women, it's not easy. Look at Dan Bilzerian. For him to fly around in those jets with all those girls, that ain't fucking easy. So he's respected for doing it.
It is part
It's
of the
a very
reason
big difference. And women nowadays take cheating too personal. And this is the problem. You live in a world nowadays where you make your own money, so you're able to do that. Back in the days, you would have accepted it. You had no choice. Who would take care of those kids? You had that something before because it was normal before. It was normal for men to have kids on you, to cheat on you. It was perfectly acceptable. But we live in a world now where we uphold the female strategy, which is what's the female strategy? Monogamy. We respect y'all strategy, but we ignore the man's strategy, and that's the problem we have going on today in society. But go ahead.
To add to that real quick, and that's the last thing I'm gonna say. So I think that when a woman has the expectation for a man to be monogamous, she's delusioning herself because she knows deep down inside that she can get a man to cheat very easily. She can go right to a married man and have sex with him right now without even talking. But the woman that expects that out of a man, monogamy out of a man, she thinks that other women don't have that power over her man. And I think it's time to let it be known that most men generally are powerless when it comes to the sexual advancements of women. And like Rose said, because there are way more women than men, even if y'all all got a man, there's still going to be side women and mistresses trying to sleep with your man, and they will be successful, just as successful as you would be.
But that's not even what I'm saying. That what I'm saying is that if we just look at it from it, because I always try to be objective in everything that I do. The fact that there are more of us than them means that someone is not going to have a mate. And as women, we are supposed to have a mate. We are supposed to have a protector. We are supposed to rear our children. Our duty to society is to produce. At the end of the day, that is our basic natural function. That's what we're supposed to do. Our bodies are designed to do that. That's what we're designed. We ovulate. We're on a cycle. Every 28 days we ovulate. Every day, all day, they're producing sperms, whatnot. And there's less of them and more of us. If you just look at the empirical data when it comes to that, it's safe to say, like, you are in a delusion to think that, oh, I'm supposed to he's just supposed to be with me. And then you have all these other issues that come along with that, which is probably why men are depressed. They can't bust a nut. I'm sorry, I probably can't say that.
Themselves.
They cannot release the testosterone that they are building in their body all day, all types of day. They can't
Natasha,
get rid of
can you, Diamond, can you guys speak now? I want to hear your guys' opinion.
Yeah, but is that really realistic? Because if life is not set up like that.
It is set up like that because
let her finish. Let her finish. You spoke.
One man can't sit here and have 6 different wives. First of all, most of these men don't make enough to take care of all of these people.
Exactly, that's the point.
And have a house big enough for y'all to all, because the kids need their father, right? So that means we to all be living in the same household, right? All these men is not making enough money to take care of 6 women and all the kids that he making with those women. And provide a household for all those people. It's not realistic. So we could talk about how we was biologically made, but life ain't set up like that.
I gotta get it. That's not true. So back in the day, our grandmothers and great grandmothers, they was raising 13 and 15 kids. No, this is real. They didn't make as much money as we make that right now. They didn't have no phones. They didn't have no cars. They didn't have none of this stuff that we take for granted today. And they was able to raise fucking 13, 15 kids. Hold on. Let me finish before you keep on going.
One woman.
That's a fact.
No, it wasn't with one woman. They would have multiple women that had their kids. They would cheat on their wives and have other kids, outside babies.
I said all in one house. Because y'all afford, because all the kids need the father, right?
In one house. Listen.
Guys, look at the chat. Everybody's literally disagreeing with you that marriages do not work, polyamorous relationships do not work with kids.
With y'all.
Yeah, that's what's making me laugh.
They don't have to agree because they're not in one. And they don't, they you know what I'm saying?
Here, hold on. Let me just come in real quick. Today's human population, right, is a direct descendant of twice as many women as men. From DNA genomic research, 80% of women have, but only 40% of men have procreated in our evolutionary past. Genomic research shows 17 women, for every 17 women that reproduce with every one man. Literally, 8,000 years ago, for every 17 women that reproduce, only one man reproduced. Women have reproduced far more than men. That means women were sharing these men. Even nowadays, women share. Only 20% of men qualify to most women anyway. You're sharing men regardless, whether you realize it or not. You all sister wives. You're all sharing men. You're all sharing these men that you all want, you all desire. Look at Nick Cannon. They're happily sharing him as baby daddy. They all share men. When a men of means, this has been going on since before Nick Cannon existed. This has been going on since the Viking times. Men who had their shit together were able to be shared. I'm not saying losers should be out here cheating, but they're going to try to do it too because they're biologically designed to want variety. All men are. Some men can't qualify or they suppress it in order to submit to your strategy, which are used to happen. So to you is every man should be, not every man is, you're going off not every man, but 90% of men are going to cheat on you if they have the option to cheat on you. That's a fact. You're worried about the 5% who won't cheat? Sure. But he may not ever come in your life because he's probably going to cheat anyway. And let's say you meet this dude. Why would he be not to only you anyway? That's the thing. Do you want a guy who has, like, you have to ask yourself, is this really realistic? Especially the society we have today, you women have created these monsters. These men who are players, who are womanizers, you created them. You women created these men. So when you complain about these men, or you say that these other men who are monogamous exist, sure they exist, but they're very far in between. And who's to say you're gonna find them in your life?
Can I be honest with you? And this is why a lot of women do not submit. This is why women are so scared to submit to men. I'm being real honest with you. I advocate for men, and you don't. I advocate for men and you guys don't understand. This is why women are so scared to date men. Because think about this, Zeus, even if you guys want to do that, like I said, I'm with the bandwagon if you guys are consensual. But if I'm saying I don't like that and a man is doing that, that's technically cheating. I believe in God and all that. And I wasn't raised in a household to do stuff like this. Does that make sense? You can do whatever you want, turn up. But in my relationship, I don't want that. That's all I'm saying. The fact that you guys are like, no, this is why women do not want to submit and they're scared to do that. Because just like he said, they're going to do it anyway. That's like me going out and cheating and doing it anyway. I understand that you're biological. You guys have temptations. You guys want to mess around with a lot of women, but there are men who believe in God, who have sexual retention, and are not going to do that. Those are men that deserve women. I'm sorry. You guys should just stay single, not have kids, and do whatever you want. I don't feel like having kids growing up into that dynamic is healthy. I'm sorry. Having multiple wives and your kids seeing that, and then what if all those girls are going in and out of your life? What are you teaching your children? What are you teaching your sons? Really think about that. That's not good.
And
we're not in other cultures, and we're not in the 1940s. We're in 2002, baby. 2002 in a different time. That's why marriage. We're not in 1950s.
You're right. And that's why marriage rates are in the toilet right now because of this delusion.
Love is dead. Look at what you guys are doing. Love is dead. Look at what you guys are doing. Love is gone because of you guys.
I'm gonna give you an example, right?
There's no love, no God.
So before you give your example, I think this has been great. Thank you for inviting me.
She's like, I'm out.
A great discussion. I think however you live your lifestyle to the best of your ability. And whatever works for you, works for you. If you want to try something new, try something new. If you want to go back until, the olden days and be monogamous, do whatever makes you happy. And I just want to say I appreciate the conversation. And I hope he drops a bomb when I leave because I didn't get a bomb. But I will tune in, I will subscribe and share, and you guys have a great rest of your evening.
Where can they find you at, Natasha?
You can find me on Instagram at Natasha the CEO. And if you get a chance, check out Hood Republic Outfitters. It's not my brand, but it's a brand of a friend of mine, and they're doing great in the community with the kids. So if you get a chance, just check out Hood Republic Outfitters and Fake Love. If Love Me or Leave Me Alone, that's their brand. Subscribe, share, like, and I'll see you guys soon. And I'll keep tuning in, but I have some stuff to do.
I know.
You have a good one.
So Tay, I agree with you. So I just want to say this: I'm not promoting just men go out here, even though that is their nature to be whores, like I like to call them. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think it's healthy to be deceitful or just be out here, just just being promiscuous, even though that is their nature. But what I'm saying, as far as in healthy polygamous communities, where there is a man and more, and it's not just. And I just want to be. There is a such thing as polyandry. There's different dynamics, But the dynamic that I'm in is just one man and multiple women, but it's not just different women coming in and out of our situation. Okay. It's the women that are in our relationship, they add value, they contribute, and we all work together collectively in a unit. You know, we're trying to build business together. We have multiple streams of income. That's what we're doing. You know, I work a lot, I travel a lot. So it's very helpful for me to have a woman in the household with my children that I trust, that I can rear and raise, because I'm not there like I would like to be. And I'm not going to be working for the rest of my life. The goal is, like, we have a whole vision board, an annual operating plan of what we're going to be doing next year. So I could be at home. So that's what I'm saying. And if I had it my way, because, you know, he has other, you know, children outside of the relationship, I would love for all of us to all be together. You know what I'm saying? Because we can all rear our children and help our community. I think that's the issue.
Wifey.
Let's just take a moment, guys. Let's take a moment and pray.
And I think that's the answer to the single mom household. But it's going to take us women getting out of our feelings, because it is an uncomfortable. And I'm not going to say that I'm always happy and that insecurities don't arise, but I have to check myself and be like, what is the goal and what is the bigger picture? I think polygamy kind of gets, you know, people associated with threesomes and orgies and all of that, and that's not what it's about. You know what I'm saying? I think it is the answer to the single household, because there isn't enough men out here for us. Somebody at the end of the day is going to be without a man and without a protector. So if I had to choose between my guy going out and just sneaking and being a whore and doing all this other stuff behind my back because he doesn't feel comfortable, or I haven't created an environment for him to be his true self, you know, I would rather have it where we, you know, he's like, hey, I met this young lady, you know, she has this, that, and the third going on, and I think she'll be an asset to our situation. And that's what makes it work for us. Now, it's not for everybody. It's not. I'm not saying that, but I do think that is the answer to the single, you know, the single parent, you know, single moms and things like that. What's going on? Because if you know, and it's probably going to take life. And history always repeats itself. The way the earth and the seasons, they always repeat itself. Eventually, that's where we're going anyways. You look at these celebrities. You got, you know, Tristan and Nick Cannon having 8 babies. They all just need to be in the house together. He can afford it. And it's not just on him to do everything, whatever. He makes the decisions, whatever. And I like being in a situation where I don't have to, because I make decisions all day. I'm at work. That's what I do. Life and death decisions. I'm stressed out all the time. So it's nice to be able to come home and to be able to have somebody to be like, okay, who of sound judgment, you know what I'm saying? Like to make those decisions, to be like, okay, this is what we're doing. Just that works for me. And my life is a lot more peaceful that way, you know? So but again, it's not just, you know, you go out here and just go be a whore and things like that. But I do think men are whores, and they're going to do it anyway. So why not create that environment for them where there's open communication? Because it's going to happen. I found out, you know what? I found out I had several cousins at my granddad's funeral when 8 different women showed up. No, now grandma didn't know, but we found out at the funeral. You know what I mean? And my parents are old. I'm adopted, so my parents are in their 70s. So when grandpa died, you can imagine that time, that era of time. So it's happening. It is happening. And I honestly think if a man can be in his true self, he becomes a greater man. Because if he's constantly having to fight his nature every day, you know what I'm saying? Like it causes other internal issues. I think that's when I think about, okay, what's really going on with women? Why is the suicide rate so high and things like that? Why are men depressed? Why are men having these issues? Because they on top of all of the other things that they have to do, they also have to fight this battle amongst themselves. Yeah, I know there's 3 women that I want to go do, but now I got to sit here because I don't want to do it. If I do this, it's going to cause strife in the home. Happy wife, happy life. You know, that's what they say. They have all of these different things going on with themselves. So I think that's a conversation that we really, as women, we need to have amongst ourselves. That's the true sisterhood. We need to check ourselves with all this extra shit that's going on. I'm sorry, President. Well, all this extra mess that's going on, whatever. Stop trying to compete amongst ourselves. You know, have I don't even know what the word I'm looking. Hold each other accountable and work with each other. and watch how it grows. You know what I'm saying? Because it has been done, huh?
Now, as a take, what do you say to all that?
Nothing. There's nothing. I'm not agreeing on anything still. There's nothing she can, not even this. When she was talking in the beginning, she's talking about girls being promiscuous, doing all this stuff. And then in the same sentence does all this. It's like contradicting yourself. So at this point, I'm not listening to anything. You can't get me to change my mind on the way I was raised. I wasn't raised like this. Like I said, you guys turn up over there. I'm over here. I believe in spirituality and God. I'm not doing that. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing if it's consensual. You see what I'm saying? But I just don't think it's a healthy environment to be around. And that's my opinion. You can have yours. I respect yours. I'm not pushing my opinion on you. That's all. You guys can do whatever you want, but me personally, I'm cool. I make good money. I make good money. I don't have kids. I make good money. I don't have kids, so I don't need somebody to take care of me and do all that extra stuff. If they're not bringing things to the table that I bring to the table, I don't need to be with anybody. That doesn't bother me one bit. It doesn't bother me. I don't have to share a man to feel I need help and feel confident. That doesn't do nothing for me. I wasn't raised like that, so doesn't sit well with me. And she's saying competing and all that stuff. I don't do that. I don't need to do that. There are men who don't cheat, whether you guys want to believe it or not. This guy's over here shocked like he don't know that. You believe all men cheat, but then you want women to be submissive. So if you're saying that in the same sentence, that's why women don't want to date men now. That's why women have a big mouth about men now. You can't say those type of things and then wonder why women are scared to date y'all. Nobody wants, look, think about this. What's the potential of like one day you doing something, slip up, she gets preggo or something? What happens if you get an STD or something? Now she's stuck in that. What if the girl falls madly in love with you, goes nuts, comes over to your wife's house with the kids there? I don't need those issues. I'm very at peace. So when I look future-wise, I don't need somebody come in and ruin my peace. I can't. I know what I can handle and I know what I can't. So why would I look, if she can handle that, God bless her. But I don't want to deal with that. I wasn't raised in an environment where my freaking grandpa was dating all these women and all that. No, I watched Undying Love and my family's like that growing up. I'm not, I don't have to put myself through anything I don't have to be through. Nope.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you, but I want to bring some other things up real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Like number one, the first thing you said that caught me off guard was that you didn't need a man.
Yeah, I want one, but I don't need him if he's gonna cheat on me. That's my point. Cheating is not it's a boundary. Boundary.
I understand that. But let's kind of bring it back. Do you want a family?
Of course. I want a big family. Of course. I love men, but I don't want to be hurt or cheated on. It's a boundary for me, buddy.
Do you know that you need a man in order to have a family?
Yes, obviously.
So do you need a man?
Of course, but I don't want a cheating man. That's my point. If you're misconstruing my words, I don't want a cheating man.
No, I know that you don't want a cheating man. I'm just going back to the first thing. I'm going to do it one by one. The first thing you said was, I don't need a man, which is a lie. Next, you said that because of the environment that you grew up in, this is just something that is so oblivious. It's crazy. You can't grasp it. I'm an intellectual. I came up around thugs shooting each other in the projects. My environment has no strengths on me as an adult. As a child, yeah, but we're all adults here. And let me tell you, your environment, this is real. Your environment has very little to do with your future thoughts. Your future thoughts are they're supposed to be guided by new information. When you hold on to old information, even when new information comes, no, this is real. When you hold on to old information, with new contradictory information comes along, and you're simultaneously holding both in your brain, it's called cognitive dissonance. I'm saying all this to go back to the monogamy and polygamous thing. You don't get to decide whether or not your man has sex with another woman. No matter how you feel, that's not your decision to make. A man could tell you right now, just like a woman is very erratic and emotional. One day she could feel this way, and the next hour she could feel a total different way. Men are the same way. Right now, because we want your pussy, you could be God to us. But after a while, I know you yawn and stuff, but after a while, you're not God anymore to us. And unfortunately, no matter how you feel, it's just the truth. And it's not a right or wrong thing. It could be wrong, but it's just the truth. It's what I'm trying to get across.
It's not the truth, my guy.
And
you're saying like facts and all that. Every man is different. You don't speak for all men. And on top of that, I'm not pushing my opinions on you. What you're trying to do is redirect my mindset and all that just because I grew up. Do you have a mom and dad that are loving with each other? Did you grow up with a family dynamic? That's your life. But that's your thing. If I want to believe this, I could believe that. You see, I'm not pushing myself. I just said I respect your thing. That's you. But I do not want that. You keep trying to convince me and say a man's going to do what he wants to do. Then my boundary, I can go ahead and leave. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like you don't understand that women have respect and morals for themselves. So if I'm saying I can't handle that, then I want to go. Look at just like the other girl that was here. There's dozens of women ready to have all these multiple partners. Turn up with them. Why do you guys got to come over here and ruin the women that don't want that? There are godly women. There are women who want good things for themselves. No, think about that. You're pushing your opinions on me. That's your opinion. It's not a fact. I already said my piece. That's yours.
Let me ask you,
you do what you want, Paulie.
Are you okay with? Do you care about a man having more ambition or more money than you? Can he have way less money than you and you still be with him?
Yes, of course. We've talked about this before. I make good money, dude. I don't care about the money portion.
So in that case, you will get you a monogamous man more than likely. So it's different for you.
I know. We talked about that. I don't want a high value man because I know what they come with. I'm not dumb. I know very well high value want multiple women. Men who are 9 to 5, all that, want love, want equal, all that. That's what I want. There's nothing. So I'm saying I get y'all. I know I'm not dumb, but I know what I want. I cannot handle that. I turn into a monster with cheating. I don't like that. I'm calm right now. You see? I want a good man who doesn't cheat. Who doesn't cheat.
Say what you just said. Other women don't want to say though, right? Other women don't want to see. The problem is the world. I'm speaking in general, right? In general, women are dating men far less money than them. You're willing to do it. So for you, monogamy is far more likely for you versus other women. Other women have a mindset.
Wait, Polly, you're saying she's not as if you know me. I've dated construction workers. I've dated guys who work 9 to 5, temper silly. You don't know me. You don't know me. I'm not just out here capping.
I'm not talking about who you dated. No, I'm talking about who you retained. And if it was true that you wanted a man, a beta, who makes less money than you, who's not a value man, you would have him right now. You don't.
Everybody has. Look, everybody has value, so you shouldn't say stuff like that. Everybody has value. That's what's wrong with the world. You shouldn't be bashing other people for the value you think they don't have. On top of that, buddy, I don't know if you know who I am, but I'm working trying to be a therapist. I don't go out at all, so I'm not meeting anybody. You get that? So if I wanted a man, trust me, baby, people be hitting my line, basketball players, football players, but I don't want that right now. I'm chilling. I don't know if you know who I am, buddy. Maybe you should Google me because, come on, dude. I like guys who work 9 to 5. I know what I could do. I know what I want, and I know what I can handle. You want to be in a polyamorous relationship? Have fun. That's your thing, baby. Rock with it. But we're different.
What he's trying to say is,
I get him.
Down so far, it's easy for you to get a man. So why don't you have much? He's probably I get you trying to say, right?
I don't want a man right now.
There are guys simping for you right now in the chat, right? So it's easy for you. You're not like other girls that don't want to dig down. So why they're single makes sense. They are delusional, right? You're a little more grounded where you were okay. If I want a monogamous man, I gotta date down. You don't mind dating down. But if you don't mind dating down, then it's easy for you to secure a man like this because you don't mind dating down.
You pretty as shit. Like you would already, if that's what you really wanted, you have that at a nigga cleaning your house right now.
I don't want that. How many times do I have to say I'm cool with being alone right now, my guy? I'm busy right now. I have so much stuff on my plate, doing YouTube on top of trying to become a therapist, going to school. I literally do not, and I do sessions. I do sessions from 6 in the morning to 9 at night. When I'm not doing this is what I'm doing. I'm always working. At the moment, I'm trying to be a millionaire in my family. So don't worry. I know for a fact I could get a man. When I'm ready to date, buddy, trust me, it'll happen like that. I know what I bring to the table. Ready? But I'm not looking for anybody. He's talking about an imaginary guy that doesn't exist. I'm not talking to anybody.
No, I'm talking about when you are looking.
That makes no sense.
I don't know how old
then
you are.
Happen. Then
they say you don't know what Zeus about to say because I do.
What?
I'm gonna just say this: if you older than 30,
I'm not older than 30.
You defeating yourself.
I'm
not saying that you. I say if I don't know.
I got no kids. I have my own place. Got my own money. I'm good, man. I have a lot to offer. Like I said, I know my worth.
We have ups and downs. Everyone has ups and downs. But listen,
you're right.
What I'm saying though. This is what I'm saying. As a woman in your most beautiful state in your whole entire life, this is when your husband wants you. Doesn't it matter to you what he wants as well as what you want?
Oh, you're not grasping this. If I don't go outside, I'm not meeting
It's up
anybody.
to what you want.
No, it's not that. You're not listening. If I was out partying, clubbing, and meeting guys and turning them down, you'd be valid right now. I go to the gym 6 a.m., buddy. Finish, come straight home. I'm here all day long. How could I meet a man if I'm in my house? So the moment I go out, I'll do that. He's not listening. Like, he's not listening.
Just post a picture. What are you talking about? You can post an Instagram picture right now.
You're so used to these little
DMs.
girls that you don't understand how some women are. I don't want to meet a guy through social media. I want to meet a man authentically, my guy. Like I said, you might be turning up with all those little girls. I'm a grown woman. I know what I want. I don't want to meet a man through social media. Think about that. Think about that. You guys see so many type of women that are the same. No, but think about that. A lot of women you see are the same, and I'm over here speaking my mind, and you're trying to redirect what I'm thinking. No,
I'm not redirecting you.
If I'm saying I'm not ready, that's you're invalidating my feelings and pushing my boundaries. I'm saying I know what I want, and when I'm ready, I will do so. Are you not listening?
Though, like you keep pushing the issue, and she already said, like,
yes, that's what I'm trying to get at. If that's like somebody saying stop and you keep going.
It's like
that's
like
you come on.
On a man right now, and you're like, well, what about what a man wants?
Yeah, dude, I have stuff to do. I want to be
attacking her. I'm attacking her.
No. It's just I want to be a therapist right now, man. And a psychiatric therapist, you have to go to 4 years of medical school. That's a lot. I'm trying to build something for myself.
Women, listen, white women go to school, all of that shit, and have a husband. What's the difference?
Am I white? No, I'm Latina. I'm black. So please don't categorize me as a white woman.
You can do the same thing. I'm saying you can do that. But that's what
they want. Look, they want to do that. Why are you forcing me to be in a relationship? Dude, if someone's saying they're not ready, oh my God. I'm flatlining. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Y'all so pushy for no reason.
I didn't speak. What do you mean? I didn't speak. Let me say this real quick, right? I let y'all have that dialogue. Let me come in real quick. Here's the thing. With Tay, right? With Poly, let's talk about Poly. Poly challenging your views. He's challenging to see what's going on there, right? That's what he's doing. He's not trying to.
He's not doing a great job. He's not listening.
He's trying to peel it back a layer and layer and layer and layer, right? I get what he's doing. For you, I get what your strategy is, right? The thing is, you're coming into being, though, right? I know you know this, Tay. You're becoming a woman who's self-sufficient to where you don't need a man. You're trying to create a reality to where
there's a difference.
No, wait, tell me one more. Wait, I'm not done yet.
We've talked about this before. Self-sufficient and independent are two different things.
I know. Listen. No. But see, it's still one and the same for you. You're becoming the thing you want to be. This is why you don't care about a main income, because you're making it yourself. So you don't care about it. If you were broke, dead broke, you would not be speaking how you're speaking right now.
I've been broke before, and I still felt the same way. Again, don't know me, dude.
If women have the workforce, you have the workforce. So you can go and get a job. If the workforce didn't exist for women like it did back in the day, where women accepted a man cheating and having children on her because she had no choice, was a different story. But because we live in a society now where there are modern day conveniences that men have built for you to where you're able to now make your own security, you're able to speak the way you're speaking. And you're able to date. This is why you don't mind dating down, which is a good thing for you because now you qualify to more monogamous men, possibly more monogamous men, right? It gives you an advantage in a way to get what you're looking for. So I get your strategy. Your strategy is become my own, have my own shit, so I don't need a man. That way, if I need to ever leave a nigga, I reserve the right to leave that nigga. That's
not even that. No, not even that. No, man.
You can leave him, right?
Honestly, man, I'm gonna be real with you. The reason why I want to make a lot of money is because a lot of my family members are incarcerated or don't have good lives or don't whatever. And one of my brothers is schizophrenic, so I want to be able to take care of him. But I don't talk about this. It has nothing to do with the man. So if you want to really know deeper than that, that's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to help my family out. So when it comes to that, I didn't grow up and be raised. Remember, my family's Hispanic, and then the other side's black. But I grew up seeing love, wanting love, and a man 9 to 5. My grandpa was a truck driver. There was nothing wrong with that. My grandma didn't say go date a guy who makes 6 figures. Don't get me wrong. I've been around guys who make 6 figures. Not my cup of tea. And look at the way I look. I'm tatted up, all that. They're not my style. We don't go well together. I like guys who understand my past, know where I come from. Like, no, I come from Long Beach, LA, all that. Like, there's just a different type of upbringing that I had that I understand what kind of man would be able to handle me. No, think about that. I don't want a man who can't understand certain things about me. And I've dated guys. My first ex, high value man. Hell no. Second one, more, 9 to 5. He did more things for me. Better. I had better with a guy that made the same amount of money that I did instead of the high value one. I wasn't happy in the high value one. I'm being honest. So I know what I can and can't handle. So some girls, they love the high value because they don't got money. A lot of them are desperate with no money. I make 6 figures. I'm good. I don't mind taking care of somebody who wants love, loyalty, and a different type of upbringing. If you guys want to date other women, go ahead. But you ain't doing me, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's correct. That's why I said, listen.
Think about that.
For you, it works. For you, it works 100%.
Yes, it does.
It's a strategy that works for you, right? And again, if women if women all had the idea that I'm gonna make my own money and take care of a nigga, they'll be just like you. They'll be able to do monogamy, but they don't want to do that. That's the problem. So in general, it doesn't work in general because women want to get more money. And your scenario is very different. You don't mind dating all the way down if you have to. You're okay because you're making your own money to where you can take care of you and him if you had to, God forbid, right? Whereas for women, other women, that's not even a thought for them. The more money they make, the more money a man has to make. See how that is? So they lose the leverage in that scenario. Whereas you're gaining the leverage because you don't mind making more than your man, even significantly more than you. Does that make sense? So that's why your scenario works for you.
Yes. Go ahead. What are you guys gonna say? What do you think, Diamond? Right. I want to hear your piece, Diamond.
Women. Diamond, go ahead, Diamond.
Yeah. I don't. As far as like the whole high value man thing, I don't personally go for that myself either. Like, I work in a hospital. I got a good job. I make good money. I got my own crib. I pay all my own bills. I don't got Section 8. I don't got food stamps. None of that.
Ooh,
I take care of my kids. So I just want somebody who at least can match me. I'm not going to say I'm going to take somebody that make less than me. I'm not going to lie. But, or even, maybe I would if I see that you working towards, like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't got such a high paying job, but you in school, and you're bettering yourself, then I'll deal with a guy like that. But I'm not just going to take somebody that's complacent. I'm always striving to improve myself and to do better and to make more money. So if you on that same type of time, then cool. But I'm not good with complacency. That's what I'm not cool with.
Yes, I agree.
Are you good with average?
What does average mean? What do you mean by average?
Average is like a nigga that making like 50 band, not even 50, like $36,000 to $40,000 a year.
No, it's 45, 42,000. 42,000 per year.
Right?
Let me ask Tay.
I make more than that.
Hey, let's say you made $1 million per year.
Okay.
Would you do it now? It's $42K per year.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. That's
I want love, loyalty. The money doesn't matter.
It's good. Let me ask you now, Diamond. Would you deal with a guy who makes $40K per year if you made $1 million per year? This is why I'm speaking to general.
I'm not sure.
She's different. She's different.
I gotta say, it would depend on the person. To me, it really depends on the details. Honestly, just my personality. Because I might, if I really like the guy, I might really like. Honestly,
he's not even getting shot because he don't make enough money. He's not even getting the chance. That's the reality.
You don't know that though.
Women, most men are invisible to most women. Why?
You could, maybe for most, but you ask me.
The fact
that the nigga don't got a car.
Get shot.
What happened?
The fact that you had to think about it, I already know you wouldn't give a man who makes far less than you a shot.
At all. Possible.
Okay.
I know you would. Because I already know you're not taking care of a grown ass man. You're not doing it. Yes or no?
No, I'm not taking care of. Oh. No, you're gonna contribute. Just like I would contribute.
He's making $40K per year, you're making $1 million per year. You make enough money to take care of everybody. What's the problem?
Yeah, that's true. If he's ambitious, you can help him with his goals. Like if he wanted to be a barber and you had $1 million and you see he's ambitious, cutting people's hair, I'd invest into his stuff. I want to follow his dream, his vision.
If you want to stay at 42, no. If you want to strive for more, yes.
But see, there's all these caveats for a man in place for you to date him. A man would date a girl with no ambition, with nothing going on in her life.
That's fine. That's your prerogative. I got mine.
So when Tay says she don't mind taking care of a man, it's different. She's different. You're the typical woman, which is why I say all the time. Most women are not okay with taking care of a man.
I'm
they'll
not the
say this.
typical woman, because the typical woman you was talking about
hold
was
on.
a high value man.
Hold on,
The
Diamond.
men
Hold on.
a high value man.
Diamond, I'm going to explain. Hold on. Most women do not feel okay taking care of a grown ass man. Most women. If you line up 10 women, 9.5 of them are not okay with it. You, Tay, are the exception, right? You don't mind taking care of a guy, cool, but most women wouldn't do it. What I am telling you is because most women wouldn't do it, they lose the leverage. You maintain your leverage of demand monogamy, man, whatever the fuck you want to demand, but you don't mind taking care of a guy. You don't mind taking a guy from zero and making him a millionaire. Other women, the more money a woman makes nowadays, the more she cares. Women have a short tolerance for a man's financial ineptitude. If a man is broke and his shit ain't together, and let's say she's making $1 million per year, she's not taking on a grown-ass man. Name one millionaire woman who takes on a broke dude and made him a millionaire. Name one. It doesn't fucking happen.
It's true. I believe it. That's sad. Can I be honest? Can I say something? I think the reason why the generation bothers me, yes, I know there's a lot of high value men and all that, but man, the idea of love is so fucking lost. It's sad. I know that you guys might not care about love and all that. And I'm emotional, whatever. But think about that. Nobody wants to build with each other anymore. The girls want the finish line, but don't want to help the man get to the finish line. If he has ambition, I'm taking you there all the way with me. I don't get that. I'm getting like, it's sad. It hurts me to know that there's women out here who think there's not good men, but no, they're all around you. You just don't want them. You want the high value men, but there's a million of them working 9 to 5 who will love the fuck out of you, but they don't want to talk about that. It bothers me. Love is dead. Love is dead.
Hey, there's a million guys, Tay, who probably on the unemployment line who could be good husbands, good fathers to your kids, but you don't want them. You attack a man's value.
You want Chris Brown,
and this is why a lot of women are single, because they are good. You all want this good dude who got shit together. When you get this dude, you ain't gonna want him because he's gonna want to fuck other bitches. That's what they don't realize. You think this dude, you really don't. He's gonna be an asshole to you because he know he had the leverage because he gets to dictate what happens now because he's rare. He's rare. It's close to simple supply and demand. He is short in supply, so he's high in demand. He's gonna treat you like it, just like a woman who has this shit together treats a nigga like he's a bum ass nigga because she knows she's on top of her game. You women have to be willing to date down. If you're a woman making all this money, why can't you bring a man up? Now I'm not saying you should, but why can't you? If you want monogamy, you'll easily get out of a broke dude who will appreciate you more for taking him while he's broke. If you're making $1 million per year, you can take care of you.
I agree.
Him easily. But he quit a job and stay home. You don't want that.
It's like this though. Those type of men.
Oh no, I was just asking because I said that as long as he's willing to. Yeah, like, but I'm not going. If you want to just stay making 42 and I'm gonna just take care of you forever, nah.
Why not? If you're making $1 million a year,
why not?
You making a lot. You making a lot.
What is 42?
Well, see,
42 is nothing. I should be able to quit my job and live off of you for the rest of my life.
Damn.
Diamond.
What you said?
You see how Diamond? You see how you said you wouldn't do it, Diamond? That's the problem. And this is why men treat you the way they treat you, because they know you wouldn't do it. We know that already.
Because look, men will take care of you guys any chance they get. So why wouldn't you take care of him? What if he goes paralyzed? Exactly. What if he gets cancer? You're not going to take care of him? What if something happens to that man?
A different circumstance,
but no, that's what love is. It's ride or die. We have each other's back all time.
Good or bad.
That's what marriage is. No matter what, if you 100, you fall off, I got you. I fall off, you got me. Whether I have $1 million or not.
Before we even get to the marriage, right? I would know that this is somebody who's complacent, staying making a minimum amount of money.
You see,
I have a question.
So I wouldn't even get to that point of marrying somebody who's not.
That's my point. See,
I got a question.
Time of day.
Let her talk. Let her talk. Yeah.
Zeus, would you date a woman, or would you take a woman seriously that made more than you?
Yeah, high value.
Me personally, there's high value women. Don't exist. It's not real.
Would you?
Why?
That's not what I'm asking. I'm just generally speaking.
Hold on, let me answer quick. You say high value because of her income. No one gives a fuck about her income though, because her income is like women are taking care of men, so no one cares about your high value as a woman. It's a fallacy. A high value woman who's a virgin. That's a high value because she's rare. For you to be high in value, you have to be scarce, rare. Most women aren't rare at all. That's high value. For a man to be high value is very different because our value is tied to numbers. So you can quantify a man's value easily. A woman's is not the same thing because we don't care about your money, but now how are you high value? You gotta have traits that we can't find in typical women. Being a virgin, being chaste as possible, not a virgin, being as chaste as possible, being respectful, being naturally submissive, being naturally feminine, except for these traits that we can't find every single day. That's a high value woman. If you're gonna call one that. But on top of that, now with me, when I deal with a girl who makes more money than me personally, I know it does not work. I know too much now. I know a woman is not built to take care of a man, so I know it would not work. I know it would be short lived because a woman has a short tolerance for it, and the more money she makes, the less tolerance she has. I know most of the marriages predicated on divorces nowadays that are initiated by women overwhelmingly is due to her making more than her man. It's due to finances. Women will try it out. There are women who still want to try it out. The problem is it doesn't last because she has an issue with it. Women have an issue taking care of grown ass men. That's just a fact. She just showed you that example.
Sad.
It's an issue. Could some girls like Tay? Sure, but it's far in between. For a man to bank his reality on that is not realistic. It's fucking fantasy world shit. So what I am telling you is, as a man, me personally, I wouldn't. If I did it, it'd be recreational use only. I know it wouldn't last. I wouldn't tolerate anybody. Or what a man could do is close the gap and start earning as much as she is as soon as possible.
What if she submitted her check to you?
Making that kind of money, the easier it gets for you. But a lot of times in that pursuit of you getting making the same amount of money she's making, she tends to grow resentment towards you and start become disrespectful towards you. It starts to build. So it still doesn't work.
Submits her check to you.
Well, then that's different. I mean, if you guys submit her check to you, that's a different scenario, right? Again, I wouldn't mind that now, right? But the only thing is, typically it's short-lived. If you got a girl that's submissive that's doing it to you, then sure, 100%. But it's typically short-lived. It doesn't work. I wouldn't advise guys to bank on that. Does it make sense? Because women don't take care of men in general. I'm gonna give you an example. How many girls you see? How many women who are making millions of dollars, billions of dollars, taking on broke men that they just met? It don't happen.
They don't.
Or women discuss. Women say every single day, "I could motivate a man. I could help a man become his best version of himself." How many are millionaires yourselves taking on men, motivating them to become millionaires too? It never happens because women, when they're at the top of a throne, they don't look down. They look up, across or up. Men do not mind looking down. You take a girl who's a peasant and make her a queen, but a queen will never look a peasant's way.
Exactly. The reason why I asked that, and I don't know what the statistics are, but I'm curious to see the correlation between like marriage or relations. Like how many women are single that are six figure plus earners? I'm really want to know like what that number is. Like,
right now it's at 60% in divorce. Over 60% of marriage in divorce.
So I'm gonna be a little transparent. I'm a six-figure earner, and I was married at the time. I'm divorced, and I will say this: the dynamics of my relationship had changed. So initially, when I got married, I was in school, and I was also a stay-at-home mom. Then I started bringing in a lot of money. And I started wanting more. I started seeing things and looking at him. I was like, you don't want more? You know what I'm saying? Like, and we were comfortable, but I wanted more. And I wanted to have nice things. And the grass looked greener on the other side. So then I became single. I divorced. I was the one that left because he lacks ambition. You know what I'm saying? He's not making what I'm making. You know what I'm saying? I had a hard time submitting to him. Now, there were other things that were going on, but if I were to be transparent, I had a hard time submitting because I felt like I knew more. I thought I was better. You know what I'm saying? And I took on the masculine trait in the role, and it failed. And then, as I started dating, it was hard for me because I thought that's what it was. I thought that was attractive. I thought that's what men wanted. You know what I'm saying? I thought being a gold digger, all this other thing was just, like that was frowned upon. But I had a hard time having men taking me. The moment they found out how much money I made, the dynamics changed in the relationship.
Can I say something real quick? You know what I've noticed, and not to attack you, I'm just saying in general, the reason why men don't date women with a lot of money is because, just like you said, a lot of women will sit there and throw that shit in your face. They'll be like, I make more than this. I'm a woman. You're not a man. I've been with guys before, and I've made more money. And the reason why they stayed with me, even before I made six figures, I've made more than a lot of my partners. Been a bartender, always worked 2 jobs, made more money. I never once ever brought that up. I never once didn't let them lead. I still know my place and my role. That makes sense. Don't get me wrong. We'll still have our bickering here and there, but I'll never bring up money. The moment you do that, you lost your man. You should never do that.
Facts. And that's the thing, right? I got to that, Polly. That's the thing, right? A lot of women don't realize it's not about you making your own money. That's not the real issue. It's what you just said, and I said earlier.
You can't bring it up.
You become the man. You become boasting about it. On top of you boasting about it, you have a short tolerance. Women naturally do. Now, Tay is different. Women in general naturally have an issue taking care of a man. So after a while, you become resentful towards him. You don't even realize you're becoming that way. You start knowing it every single, and it's not gonna happen naturally. It's gonna happen when you start arguing with him. You're not doing something that you want him to do. When holidays come around, he can afford what you think he should be able to afford. That's just what's gonna fuck with you. Because a lot of women have an issue with it because you've been indoctrinated about feminism, and you, even though feminism is indoctrinated to make your own money and become independent, you still want a man to provide for you. But the problem is you can't have it both ways. And because you think you can, you're now confusing yourself. If you're gonna earn, see, here's the thing: men earn money to take care of women. Women earn money to take care of themselves and their own children. You earn money for selfish reasons. So it's typically men understand this, so we don't really care about you making your own money. And when you make your own money, you become annoying to deal with because you start putting it on our face, you start boasting about it, you use it as a weapon in every single argument. If a man's living in your house, what's the first woman tell a man? Get the fuck out of my house.
Dude, that's true.
Right.
This is why we live with women.
Sad.
It's a fact. But go ahead. I digress.
And look, I want to say this too. So it was okay, I got a question for the women. And I ask this question to a lot of women because I podcast too.
Okay.
So say you got a man and y'all are having sex with each other. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that nobody in here is a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
Now
I am. I'm kidding.
Everybody stop talking. I believe you.
I was about to be fucked up. I said she said she got kids. She ain't no virgin.
I forgot that she said that.
But yeah, so do you think that women today, including you guys yourself into there, huh?
About to wrap up soon, Tay.
I can't hear you. Am I bad?
I said we're about to wrap up soon, Tay, because we're going 3 hours.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, do you think the women today value their bodies more than money, or money more than their bodies?
I want to say money.
What about you?
Me?
Do you value money over your body?
I value both. I eat healthy. I go to the gym every single day. I drink I drink water at least every day. I take vitamins.
Which one? Which one do you value more?
My body. I won't be healthy. I can't even make money if I don't value my body.
Okay. So would you give your check, that $100,000 away to a man before you gave your body to him?
No. Yeah. If we're together, okay. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like messing with guys too soon. I like to wait. So I'd probably give a guy money, and I've done it before. Money before my body. I don't know if that's bad or not. Yeah, I even gave a guy money in the talking stage. I don't know if that's good. My friend told me not to ever do that again.
Tay's different. So you're asking the wrong girl, bro. She's
like
different, bro.
You go to work for a check. Oh, my bad. I was saying you go to work for a check that's less valuable than your vagina, but you will give your vagina to a man, access to your car, access to your home, but not your check from work, in order to trust him in a position of leadership where he's supposed to be. I'm going to be honest, 100%. I'm in a relationship with Rose, Ivy, and Polly. We're in a relationship together. I date multiple women. Rose
y'all three? You two, Diamond?
Rose.
Oh.
No, just me and Rose. We date we date other women. Just know that. But Rose makes fucking over $100,000, $150,000 a year. I don't make half of that. But she understands what true submission is. She understands how to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? She's been a man for so long. You feel me? And sometimes it takes that. It takes you know, you're not in your Rose in her 30s now. She's been a man since probably your age. Not literally, but been the man.
I was gonna say,
you know
she a
what I'm saying?
tranny? Cool.
Not a tranny, but you know what I'm talking about.
Says she a man.
She's been the man of her situation and of her life, just like you're the man of your life right now. That shit gonna get boring and tired to you after years. That shit is fun right now, but trust me, doomsday is coming.
I love that shit.
Nah, Zeus, I never heard you laugh like that.
The doomsday is coming. What?
She don't make no decisions. I'm gonna be honest. She makes no decisions. She don't decide where we eating at, which way we going, when we need to do this, when we need to do that. She puts 100% of that trust into me. Yes, I earned it. Yes, I earned it.
That's how it should be.
But that is what true submission is, and that's the only reason she gets the ring.
Oh, that shit, my guy.
But you had to show her something for her to give you that. You don't think?
Of course, I have to prove myself. Yes, a man definitely has to.
Do you have a job?
Wait, Diamond. For him to do that, Diamond, that just tells you he has to have some type of value. For a man to come in and make less money and still get a woman to submit to him in that level, he has to add tremendous value in some way, shape, or form that's outside of money. You women attach a lot of women attach a man's value to his income. Men are far more valuable than that. That's the problem. He's using the other values that you women don't even see. For that to happen,
integrity. It's the integrity.
He had to add value on top of that. That everything else he was saying. Like, he had to add a tremendous amount of value to even be able to be in that position, which you don't realize, what women in general do not realize. So that already tells you he's valuable as a man. It may not be in monetary gains, but there's more values to a man than his money. But I digress.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
What is that? You guys, how cute.
Aww.
But yeah, let's wrap up, you guys. Let's wrap up. We're gonna first start with Diamond. Tell everybody where to find you at, Diamond.
You can find me on Instagram at Dope Diamond. And Facebook.
And how did you enjoy this ring? It was good?
Yeah. This was a real good talk.
This was a good one. Yeah.
This was a good one.
All right. Rose. Tell everybody find you at Rose.
At Rose Ivy Official. That's all my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can find me at Rose Ivy Official. And if you don't mind, go to the mindyourhealthmovement.org. Support. That's a platform that I created to bring awareness to mental health, and to and just to bring resources to the community. I have partnered with the VA. I've partnered with free healthcare. So there's a lot of good things on that. So
yeah.
All right, and also, how did you enjoy the stream?
I'm sorry.
How did you enjoy the stream?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was very insightful. I like the different views and the different opinions, that we can all come together and have a respectful conversation and it still be love at the end. And I look forward to having more conversation, especially with Tay. I'm gonna hit you up. I might even do a session with you.
Hell yeah, I got you. I'll hook you up. You too, Polly. You too.
Polly, tell me where to find you at, Polly.
But y'all can follow me on Instagram at Poly804RVA. And just to leave y'all with a little gem, man, for everybody who thinking that women who are pick-me's are a clown or something like that, you only gonna be a pick-me or a pass-me, baby. Just remember that.
That's right. It's the best thing you said.
You out with a bang, baby.
That's the best thing you said so far. Only thing I agree with.
I do have a question real quick. Tay, are you in your clinical or in your rotations, or are you doing your
No, not even yet. That's why I tell everybody these are just like advice and stuff.
Hit me up when you do get to that. Make sure I don't know how I can reach you offline, but I got you.
Okay.
Where you can get into places, whatever, because I know those can be really, really hard to get into sometimes.
Okay, for sure.
Really
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Yeah, you guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in the stream. You already know where to find me and Tay at. It's Tay Baby, of course, on YouTube as well as Instagram and every other platform. You can find me at Zeus X Unplugged on every other platform like you see across the stream. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Tay, anything you want to add, Tay, before you end it?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you everybody for coming. I really enjoyed it. That was a little heated debate. I love how everybody has different views. I love that you guys kept it respectful and all that. I would love to have you guys back. God bless you all. Thank you so much, guys, and to all my little subscribers. I love you guys. It's nice meeting you guys too. Diamond, I love your advice too, Diamond.
Subscribe to both channels, you guys. Subscribe to both channels. Anybody on my channel, subscribe to Tay Baby, of course, subscribe. Anybody's on our channel, subscribe to my channel. We have good content. We got more coming for you guys. Peace.